Andrew. Oh, fuck, that's not a good one. Oh, I gotta go.
It's 10. You actually looked it up or you remember it? Either way.
Yeah. A fish likes to swim with its fin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
He's getting the flow. You gotta get.
Andrew Yang play that's the yin. Yeah.
Hair's looking kind of long. Get a trim. Yeah.
Go off. Yeah. Throw Jack's opinions in the bin. Yeah. I think I'm out.
I'm real smart like Neutron, Jim.
Neutron, Neutron, fucking god tier. Holy shit.
Dude, it's a weird ending.
You gotta write that one down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta think of something like Montesquieu here. Hold up.
Montesquieu here is peak. You peaked in high school. 100%.
Neutron, Jim.
Like Neutron, Jim. Yeah.
I go to the pool to swim.
Swim. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. We're on the M's again. Okay, we got
What about Flynn?
I just talked about eating ass at the rim.
I don't got clean water like Flynn. Yeah.
Like Flynn. That's fucked up, dude. My bitches stay dirty like Flint. Yeah.
Where are the niggas named Clint? Yeah.
Clint. Yeah. See, I don't know where they all went. Yeah.
All these homies looking bent. Yeah.
I eat a half bag of Doritos, put a dent. Yeah. No, I got some more. Yeah. Clean my belly button. That's some lint. Yeah.
This
Don't know where you're going. Give you
worth a cent. Yeah.
Don't know where you're going. I'll give you a hint. Yeah. My dick tastes like a mint. My dick tastes like a mint. Yeah. Can I borrow 20 to make rent? Yeah.
Oh Lord. So you got a new rhyme scheme.
My favorite band is Slant.
Wait, it's all coming full circle. Holy shit. Wait, I don't know if we can top that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was trying to think of something with peppermint, but I couldn't.
Peppermint. My dick tastes like peppermint.
You just say that you're fresh like a mint, you know?
Just say your dick tastes like peppermint. What was the one? Osteoporosis. Brittle. Yeah.
My skin's got a real dark tint.
Yeah. Hold on.
Niggas hit me, couldn't make a dent.
Yeah. What was the one that what did I slant rhyme on for end? I don't remember. Oh, I don't know where all the haters went. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Put the mail in a box. It's sent. Yeah.
Sent. Yeah. Put the mail in a box. Like fuck, that's like fucking femdom, dude. Put the mail in a box.
Just drink some milk. That's a pinch. Yeah.
I put my dick on a plinth. Yeah. Yeah. I don't put my dick on a plinth.
I wake up and go on a sprint. Yeah.
I like metal music that's gent. Yeah.
Got laser vision like I'm Clark Kent. Yeah.
Clark Kent.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck Jack meant. Yeah.
There's so many ants, dude.
My dick's 90 degrees. That shit's bent. Yeah.
She wasn't trying to fuck, but you couldn't get the hint. Yeah.
I fuck on my bitch because she wants to vent. Yeah.
When it's put a black cross on my forehead, it's like lint. Yeah.
My favorite thing about that is
both kinds of lint there.
My favorite thing about that is that it's not even a double meaning. It's not even like
It's straight up.
How the fuck would you put a black cross on my forehead like it's lit? Yeah.
The only thing in your pocket is lint. Yeah.
I don't like my bitch's bag, so I fuck her in the front. Yeah.
The front.
Yeah. All right, welcome to WLTM, the show where we
We're not recording yet, are we?
all my anger is
We
pent.
haven't been
Yeah.
recording your trolling.
Yeah. All my anger is
So
pent.
I can do. So I got half of it. So I can either stop it now and have a 5-minute bonus video, and then we can start
No, just
recording,
keep it.
or
Wait,
just we can just keep going.
My dick is
have we
pitched
said
like a
anything-
tent.
Yeah.
Have we
Yeah.
said anything dangerous?
Jack said the bad word.
I think
He
just
said-
you.
he
All right,
said-
let's-
I mean,
our
we're
word.
just
He said, or Cameron's word.
a lot of dirty water. Shout out to Flint.
Yeah, we already got it out.
That's
That's
what Cruz
got
said.
here.
Cruz
I'm
said
for
that.
real. My
Yeah.
bad. I wasn't here.
Cruz literally just said my water is dirty like Flint.
I'm a straightforward man.
I opened the
I
door
like
like a
it.
gent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Welcome to WLTM. This is the season finale. You guys are the boys.
Yo.
Hashtag Me Too movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Season finale. Boys are going with the summer. So,
I just
we
flew out
got
to Cali. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
We got some.
Put my
we got
dick
some
in your valley.
spicy
Yeah.
picks.
Yeah.
We got some spicy picks. Yeah. I got a big dick. Yeah.
Fuck the bitch at the gay pride rally. Yeah. Yeah.
It started with Cruz, who's say hello, Cruz. Say
I cook in
hot
the ship
bar.
that's the galley. Yeah.
You're not Cruz.
Yeah.
Cruz, I need a hot bar. Start a new rhyme.
That's my 8th bitch. Gotta add a tally. Yeah. Yeah.
I make that whole melt like Dally. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Cruz is the guy who did not speak there. So Cruz started off by picking all the toppings by Panucci.
No, we haven't even done all the intros.
We haven't
No,
introduced
I'm
ourselves.
telling them about how
Oh.
this turned out.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay,
okay.
so we started out by picking 2.5 hours, the entire discography of this band. You know, good shit. So we got some good picks this week.
Hot
I think it'll
takes,
be really
Even
exciting.
hotter
Huh.
pizza.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we got Cruz,
Yeah.
we got Cameron,
Yeah.
we got Alex,
Yeah.
and I'm Jack. Yeah.
Yeah.
For listeners at home, Jack's might be a little low octane today because Jack didn't get his full 8 hours.
Yeah. Jack didn't get mommy's milky, so he's a little
Jack's
tired.
a little
No,
sleepy head today.
guys. Here's the deal. I went to the store and I'm drinking myself a Bang Energy. Yeah.
A bang energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang
No
energy,
Red
yeah.
Bull.
Yeah.
No. I gotta get that
Put
Bang
my
Energy.
dick in her spleen. Yeah.
We fuck with hoes that's lean.
Yeah.
You know,
I go to bed and I hit a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the Bang Energy because you know.
I swerve
got
in my
the
car.
Bang.
That's Kareen. Yeah.
You're gonna get the Bang to support the Yang Gang. Yeah.
The Yang Gang bang. The
Float in the
Yang
ocean.
Gang
Float in the
bang.
ocean. That's serene. Yeah.
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 I never lose, I always win. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ocean
I'm
man.
an
that's my
ocean
boy.
man like weed.
There
Yeah.
it is, both of you.
Yeah.
All my fucking clothes are supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot fuck with my team. Yeah.
Yeah. Just turned 12. I'm a tween. Yeah.
Yeah. Not everything is what it seems. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a huge dick. That's my peen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a 12-year-old sexualizing yourself?
I love Big
Why don't
Bob's
you
and
sit that-
Vagine. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
don't you sit in the chair over there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, keep introing.
All right, so I think we got the intro.
1600 pirates. My dude's getting green. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should start with the pick, with the one that's the top of the list, the big boy itself.
You think we should go in order?
No, I don't think we should.
Yeah.
I
Going in
think that
order
we
is not a
should.
bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think going in order is a bad idea. I think that's like the true order.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, we'll do it. Because I was kind of thinking that the final boss of music was Saint Anger, but
Oh, it is the final boss.
Say that album is the
My
final
lifestyle determines my death style.
Determines my death style. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna be here for a while. Yeah.
I'm kind of overweight like my boy Kyle. Yeah.
Alright, that's just toxic. That's just toxic.
Pussy's deep like the Nile.
Yeah.
I run a 7-minute mile. Yeah. The bathroom is made out of tile. Yeah.
Got turn that shit down like a dial. Yeah.
Alright, we'll get back to that. Still make acid my boys look like bile. Yeah.
the first album is all the toppings. Yeah.
Got big hair like Guile.
Speak the truth.
I don't have any more. Hold on.
Preach it, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So for this week, we picked albums that we all thoroughly enjoy and love, and
to the listeners at home, I'm the only one who picked an album that I like.
So Cameron,
you're the only one that picked an album that you listened to all the way through.
I'm the only one who picked I'm the only one who picked an album this week. Let's be honest.
Yeah. The rest of us picked musical experience.
Jack, did you do your predictions? Did
I need to write down the predictions, but you can intro.
So I picked an album, and I picked this album because Cameron said he picked an album he didn't like, and I was like, the world is my oyster. Like, the floodgates are opened. Cameron picks albums he likes, and people hate him. And I was gonna pick one that he hates, and everybody's gonna hate him. So the cards are turned. So I was like, I gotta turn some cards. Everybody's always thrashing on me for picking mediocre picks, because all I do is pick mediocre picks, and I had to do something to him. I had to give him the Moby Dick, the white whale, the wall, the
wall.
Yeah. The Iron Giant, you know, the Cirque du Soleil, the connoisseur of indie rock, the final boss. In this case, Panucci's Pizza, all the toppings by Panucci's Pizza. And so I picked this album because I make fun of our good friend Thomas every day, every single day. Every time I see his stupid ass friend's activity and he's listening to Panucci's Pizza, I give it to him. I give him a little taste, and it is 2.5 hours. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes. What's the length of the? It's half. Let's just say it's half of this week's playlist. Is all the motherfucking toppings. And,
every single one of them.
And I hope. Damn, they have explicit tags so you can play with the good ones on the radio? Goddamn. Holy shit.
Damn.
I hear on a
They
Monday.
have it all set up for you. They give you the keys.
I'm not playing on the radio.
Why not?
I don't know. Maybe next week.
None of the songs are long enough.
Yeah, fucking true. See?
That's actually true.
4 minutes 30 seconds is weak.
Put my drink on a coaster.
Coaster.
Did you put the bread in the toaster? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one. That one didn't register.
Alright.
That just sounds like you're from New York, though. That one kind of works. I don't know about coasters. It's the same thing, but I don't know.
So what did you think about your album, Cruz?
The redeeming qualities of this album is all the song names are fucking funny. Like there's so much like just stupid shit. They just like it's something you think of and you just write down and you're like, okay, that's it. And then there were some decent songs, and then so it's like every 5 songs there's a decent song, and then every like 15 songs there's a good song, and most of it's forgettable and kind of cringy to listen to.
I have a lot of respect for an album where you can say every 15 songs are a good song. Nothing but respect. That means there's 3 good songs on this album.
Every 15 of 45. So that's
there probably. I think there are 3 good songs on this album. I'm not sure.
I got 2, and
I might say there's more, honestly.
I got 2, and they're in very close proximity.
I got Leave Your Giraffes and Take Your Giraffes, rather, and one other. I can't remember the name of it.
The 2 best songs. Wait, hold on. I think Leave Your Giraffes is the one that I thought was good, and then it got cringy.
No, damn.
Which happens. We keep interrupting Cruz. Anything else you would like to add?
We didn't ask Thomas to write a manifesto, but I will write it for him. So the reason why Thomas loves this album so much is it's got so much content, and he doesn't have to waste any of his valuable time looking for things that he actually likes. So he just puts on a 2.5 hour album. And it's like
I actually
fucking brain on.
Yeah.
I talked to Thomas the other day actually about this album, and this is something I noticed too that he ended up admitting to. He listens to like 2 songs off this album, but when he listens to them, he just listens to them on the album. He doesn't actually like of the 45 songs, he likes like 5 of them. It's just that he listens to them on the album because he doesn't make playlists. Because all he does is steal, other people's playlists that they worked hard to make.
Goddamn.
Like me. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. Albums, little long.
I'd almost say that it's not an album.
Yes. It's their entire discography.
This is an album. This is an album in the same way that like the Louvre is one piece of art.
What is the Louvre?
the museum in France.
Oh shit.
Who doesn't know about the
Louvre? My pants. Yeah.
Alright, so the thing about this album
just took your girl to the dance.
Yeah. The DJ played nothing but trance. Alright, so the thing about this album is that there's 2 good songs on this album, and they're tracks 26 and 29. So what that means
I can't count. Where are those at?
I'm just on the album.
26, 29.
I'm just on the
like
album.
5 songs saved, and those are the ones I can tell you about. Maybe 2.
So that's a flaw about the album. Is that I liked tracks 22 and 29. Had to listen to them again to remember what they sounded like, and remember very little to nothing else about the rest of the album except for there was parts where it was acoustic and almost impossible to hear, and it was not good.
Oh,
and then the parts where it was really
they're poor.
It's poor recording, yeah.
It's the broke
check. I'm poor too, so.
And then there were parts where it was really loud and also hard to listen to, which is
but you're not recording an album.
Yeah, the volume was all over the fucking place.
Oh, the mixing.
Shit.
I also like the part where they just kind of threw in. They just threw in some of the fucking we're just gonna put the live song at track number 10. So we're not even gonna organize it all. So you get the same
live
kind of
acoustic songs in a row.
Yeah, so what I'm saying.
Are these the same songs?
No, usually what.
Yes, it's their. Okay, look. So it's their
whole discography.
The way this album is organized is it's literally like as everything is the releases. So like the first 9 songs is their first album. The next 4 songs are live versions of songs from that album.
So the thing is, usually what you would do is you would put all the live stuff at the end so that it was all kind of together, so that you didn't have some live songs and then just some more studio stuff. That's usually what you would do.
Oh yeah, that does make more sense.
But
that's not what they did.
And I would argue that some of the song titles verge on cringy.
Their song titles are lit as fuck.
The song titles are the kind of thing. It's just like naming. It's like it would be like one of our freestyle little things, just becoming the name of our album.
Yes, that is perfect.
What's the problem?
It's absolutely
osteoporosis, nigga, brittle.
It's absolutely hilarious to us, and then somebody's gonna try to we're gonna okay, let's sell this for money, and it's gonna be like nobody's gonna buy a fucking album that's called Nicolas Cage and Still the Declaration of Pizza Pendants.
That's fucking funny. That's funny.
I don't know about that one actually. I never saw that one.
My imaginary friend is still addicted to pornography.
This album is their whole discography. Yeah.
Not a huge fan of what Panucci's Pizza has done here. I would almost go as far as
you don't like all the toppings. You only like some of the toppings.
Like when I order a pizza, I straight up just get cheese. I don't like any toppings.
Damn.
But you know, if I get like a little piece of pepperoni, like maybe like a 2-song out of 45 piece of pepperoni, then I can live with it because it's like it's not the worst thing ever, you know. But if you're like, yeah, we're gonna have all the toppings, and then we're gonna put another fucking pizza on top of it, so it's like a pizza sandwich. I'm like, dude, it's too
that
many
sounds good.
Too many fucking toppings, dude. Like way too many fucking
Keanu
toppings.
Riverbots. Naruto themed sexting is one of the best song concepts I've ever seen. And it's the best song on the album, 100%.
So the thing about this album is that this album's really god tier if you value the music the least out of everything. like if the music is the last thing you give a shit about when you listen to music, then this is like the album for you. Because every song except for every song sounds the same. You either have acoustic slow jams or you have almost math rock Midwest emo songs. And you get 2 moods. You get those 2 moods, and that's it.
Holy God for part 2 too. Fuck
so
yeah.
So take what you like out of that. I gave all the toppings a 5 because one fish, two mill, red fish, blue mill. It's a good song.
That's sick.
And Orek, March of the Vuvuzelas is also a tune. But I can't get behind any Midwest emo if it's not American football, as Cameron knows.
Is it the Tenkai Ichi Budokai?
So,
it's so good.
Cruz is gonna be asking.
Ass pathetic.
Yeah.
Did you not listen to the album, Cruz?
I didn't look at the songs at all. I listened to this album like 3 times.
Oh, you're trolling.
How do you? Okay. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I think that I call this Thomas music. It's gonna be Thomas music forever, in the same way that Cruz music is Cruz. But I think Thomas understands what Thomas music is, unlike Cruz, who has no idea what the fuck Cruz music is, even though he listens to it.
Figure it out. It's part of the aesthetic.
But I gave it a 5 because it's a little long, but this has really opened the door for me listening to other 4-hour albums that I'll have to listen to in the future.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. We'll wait till next season.
What?
On my own time.
I got some bullshit coming.
it's on the rocks.
That's the kind of
with the acid mother's temple real quick.
That's the kind of thing I do on my own time.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be on your own time, just anytime that week.
I think now is as good a time as any to break news to the audience that I will not be coming back for season 3.
I love how we didn't announce the end of season 1, but we're already announcing the end of season 2. It's like
that's his dumb boy.
We aren't even particularly sure which one was the end of season 1.
It doesn't matter.
We took a fucking hibiscus or whatever the fuck you call it.
A hibiscus.
Yeah.
Something meniscus.
Yeah. I tossed the haters like a discus. Yeah. My cat's got really hairy whiskers. Yeah.
I tell my honey to give me that kiss.
Kiss. Yeah. Alright, but that's what did you think about the album, Cameron, as the resident Midwest emo fanatic?
Oh yes, as the Midwestern resident, as definitely the Midwest emo fanatic. That is me. So the thing is, like, on principle, I refuse to give this album an actual rating because it's not an album. It's not an album. I have to give it a 5 off the strength. And also, in terms of actual enjoyment, it probably just is a 5 also. Like, I don't know how I would take the first 9 songs if it were just that, but since I know that I'm in for the long haul, like, it's impossible to listen to, like it's any actual length of time. You just lose track of everything. Strangely enough, all 4 albums, quote unquote, this week had a strange effect that make you lose track of time, at least for me. But all in very, very different ways. I'll get to that. But this one just makes you lose track of time because it's so fucking long. Like,
they're all like that fucking.
I shaved, washed my face, did the laundry, washed the dishes, fucking like did some push-ups and the album's only half done. like it's some bullshit. But yeah, I don't know.
Like if you ever need a situation where you need 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours of background noise, and you can't get up and change the music, dude, and you don't want to make a playlist, just put it in.
Yeah, just put. I will listen to this album again just because of that.
Did anybody listen to it in one sitting, without pausing it or like?
I got close.
Yeah, because I put it on speakers, and I mean I just sit here.
I literally don't listen to music. That's why I don't like long albums, because I don't listen to music any other way.
Because I almost did it. I got to like 40, and then like I had to go to the bathroom, so I paused it. I was like, "Fuck!"
Oh no, I did it twice because I mean I just put stuff on my speakers and then do like menial tasks / homework, just in my room.
Yeah, I listened to this thing in one sitting. Maybe that's why I didn't like it so much. Maybe if I listened to the shit broken up, like I was listening to 4 different albums,
I don't know. I think it plays to its strength that it's so long that you can't nitpick at all. You can't nitpick anything.
That is true.
I think it plays.
What is there to say?
Like you can't. Nicolas Cajun.
Like this isn't a Sledding with Tiger situation where I listened to it 10 times.
Yeah,
and it got worse each time. Like
it can't get worse if it doesn't.
I think it's almost different because I feel like if I listen to it more, I might actually end up liking it more because it's like half of the songs are acoustic slow ballads and the other half of the songs are like punk songs and emo songs. And I probably would have really liked the punk and emo songs if I had enough time in the week to listen to this more than the amount of times I listened to it. So I think this might have been a 10 if I fucking had time. Yeah. What do you think, Jack? As the other resident American football fanatic.
Who the hell likes American football?
What?
They had the draft today.
Commie sport.
Oh, did they? Oh, I heard the Clemson quarterbacks. Yeah, all 4 of the quarterbacks were first draft.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Radical.
Goddamn Roll Tide.
Well, if I want.
Don't laugh.
If I wanted to be spicy, I could say that despite Cruz attempting the troll pick, he still ended up picking a 6 out of 10 indie rock album.
But it has a certain spice to it.
Oh yeah, but this one has like some
character.
I actually kind of don't actually feel okay. So first off, I agree with Cameron that this is kind of impossible to judge as an album in of itself because I can just click on their artist page and look at the other albums that compromise this album.
I mean, theoretically...
Comprise, not compromise.
Yeah, comprise. Because, I mean, theoretically, like, there could be an album full of this music that is this long.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is.
Yeah.
Like, some of the songs are just the same, and it's like, I'm listening to the same song.
They are the same time.
Yeah.
There's 4 of the same.
It's even more of the problem is that you listen to the first like 9 tracks and then you just listen to live versions of 4 of the first 9 tracks. So it really hits you. Like if it was like the last 4 songs were like the same.
That's why time feels like it's slowing down because you're like, I don't recognize. I don't remember hearing this, but it sounds familiar.
No, because
it's the same damn songs.
No, what I'm saying though is that the fact that of the first 13 songs, there's only like 7 unique songs. That's a problem. Because if you would have put all the live songs at the end, I would have forgotten that I already heard them, and I would have been like,
exactly.
"Oh, this is different." No, instead they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna make sure you listen to this song twice in a row," which is ambitious.
All I remember is that the first song isn't so hot. The second song's alright, and then it fucking goes off. Like, I can't remember anything past that.
I'll go there and say it. I liked Jank better. I think Jank was a better fucking musical choice than...
What is Jank?
That's the offshoot band.
Oh.
After these guys did this, they made Jank, which is also one of Tom's favorite bands of all time.
It's the same guys? The guy that was a sexual predator?
Yeah, why do you think Thomas listens... No, okay, not for that reason, but I'm saying why do you think Thomas listens to Panucci's Pizza? Because he already listened to Jank.
I did not know that. I thought it was just like the 2 stupid fucking bands he listens to.
Yeah, but that's just, Thomas doesn't listen to wildly different music though. If he listens to 2 things, it's because
bands.
Yeah, he listens to my fucking playlist, which I don't want to do.
I don't see him ever listening to that playlist.
He listens to it on mobile, so it doesn't come up. He sent me fucking
Does it
photographic.
not come up on mobile?
I guess not for him. He showed me video of him listening to it before.
You flamed me for listening to Joyce Manor, and I was only listening on mobile. What the hell's that?
Well, yeah, but you listen to Joyce Manor a lot because you're a cuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love being a cuck. Yeah.
2 minus 1, that's a buck. Yeah. I eat my bitch
Nigga, I'm
pussy
fly like a duck. Yeah. Yeah.
I eat my bitch pussy ass shit. Yuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not gay.
yeah.
The homies give you a suck. Yeah.
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 Spying on Facebook, Mark Zuck. Yeah.
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 I played the lottery because I got luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We keep using this flow because we're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna get up out of here in my truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this album.
Jack gets no pussy, he don't fuck.
Yeah.
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 Buy my girl nip tuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
My dick's so big I got a tuck. Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things Alex said earlier was
dog.
he thinks that the music is like the least important part of this, or something like if you listen to this, it's not for the music or something like that.
Well, I was like, what I meant by that was like when you're deciding to listen to it, like when you're gonna be like, I'm gonna listen to Panucci's Pizza. Your hierarchy of stuff you care about when listening to an album, the music should be at the bottom, and you'll love it.
I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I do think that the actual like songwriting is surprisingly good, and I quite enjoyed it. Like the recording quality is garbage. On like literally, you know, they're all different albums, and they all have different recordings, completely different styles of recording, and they're all bad.
I think my favorite part, one of my favorite things about this week, is that we have a legitimate lo-fi album in here, and it's more hi-fi than this fucking album.
Yeah.
Like this is like play the guitar into your computer mic recording.
Yeah.
It's like nothing is like mixed at all. It's just like they record it and they're like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
On all the stuff that makes up like the first album, it's like I couldn't hear like bass.
Well, there isn't any bass. It's literally just two guys with one sings and one plays guitar.
All about that bass.
I didn't know that, but it explains a
That's why like none of these songs have drums in them
enough.
either. That's why a lot of these songs are just solo acoustic guitar.
Yeah, but so here's the deal. Like that's like he's hearing there's no bassist in the band.
It's just only bass.
It should be a thing where it's like, oh, that explains a lot, but it really doesn't. You can just record bass afterwards. Your songs would sound better.
I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have bass. I'm just saying that that's why there's probably not a bass.
I'm not sure you can even hear a bass guitar over all this bullshit. Like I'm not confident.
He plays the acoustic guitar so loud.
That man's hitting it.
I think I became acoustic.
His right hand is tired.
I think I became acoustic. Yeah. But yeah, but there are actually like a couple. There were songs that I was like, wow, this guy actually has like an ear for like hooks and like having stuff that's like sounds memorable. The song that came to mind for me is, wait, you know who Frankie Muniz is, right? Yeah. And because like it has like one of like the most like obvious like mathy riffs in it.
Oh yeah, that song. That was the other good song.
And then
right next to each other.
And it also like goes places. It's one of the longer songs. And it's
an actual song.
Yeah, and it's one of the ones. Yeah, it's song length. Then I also like aesthetic, more like aesthetic. Yeah,
that's the worst song on the album. That's one of Thomas's favorites, and it's garbage.
I thought
like it's so slow. He's just singing, and then you guys were fucking talking about how Jarv was a cuck last week.
Jarv was not a cuck. Jarv was a Chad.
This album's like Lord of the Cucks.
Oh yeah, this album's like.
Wait, this song's not good.
Yeah, the song is just like the first 2 minutes of the song is just him singing.
And it's slow, but I think when it like it's a slow and it's a bad like version of the song, but I think the like songwriting is okay.
I also don't think either of these guys can sing, but I think that some songs it's okay that they can't sing.
Wait, it's two different niggas?
Yeah, it's two guys.
No,
so I think like some of the songs it's okay that they can't sing, and then some of the songs it makes it way worse that they can't sing because they're really trying to go for it. It's like that, like, oh, I'm so passionate about my vocal delivery, and I'm having a great time singing, and it's like, dude, you need to fucking let's calm it down and not fucking screech, okay?
Yeah. Fuck you, we're at the beach, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that shit, yeah. My dick's 8 inches, that's a reach, yeah.
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 I remember liking Taylor's first A string, but I
eat my girl ass like a peach. Yeah. Yeah. Continue.
I was Taylor's first A string. That's a story for another time.
That's a season 3 story.
Yeah, season 3 story. Shout out Taylor. You don't exist, son.
Damn. Fucking shitting on my person, Taylor.
Yeah, my imaginary friend Taylor has she's addicted to porn. So.
I thought something else interesting about the band that makes a lot more sense when you think about it in context is that the dude who's the main songwriter was also one of Trump's campaign managers.
Wait, really?
No, but wouldn't that be hilarious? That's what Panucci's Pizza is. It's so like weird and like the whole concept is so fucking weird and random that it's like, oh, was he really? Like you can like, that kind of shit becomes.
I believe it, but I wouldn't at all.
If I was like, yo, Lars Ulrich fucking wrote all of Trump's speeches for his campaign, you guys would be like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. But with Panucci's Pizza, it's like, well, maybe he fucking did.
Like, it's like our fucking meme about Josh Homme being in Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Josh Homme is in Daft Punk.
No, Josh. I thought Josh Homme was in Foo
And
Fighters.
then Jimmy Page and then Crooked Vultures. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. But it's just that's the kind of thing Panucci's Pizza is. When you think about it too much, it's like once you have to think about all the shit that goes into making a musical endeavor like this, even when you think about the sum of its parts, you really or like just like the individual parts, you just kind of get to the point where you're like, I guess I could believe that he's a vegan. He's probably a vegan. That makes sense. Or or maybe he's got a PhD in like petroleum engineering. It's like, okay, well, I mean, I guess like Panucci's Pizza, maybe. You know, like, oh yeah, this guy eats tree bark. It's like, oh, okay, he eats tree bark. Okay.
I was very saddened that this whole shit was like a Futurama reference. At least like the name of the band. Yeah.
The name of the band, rather, not the title. It's weird.
There's no other Futurama references, or in the song titles at least.
Yeah, so there's literally a fucking sample. Oh, also, let's talk about the samples. Samples suck. I need to not use them. There is one sample, I think, near the end of the album, though, that's a quote from a Futurama episode about Bender. Please insert the girder. I think
I kind of like the one where it's like, it's not your fault.
Yeah, that one was
that's
fucking
from Good Will
garbage.
Hunting.
That's from Good Will Hunting, and that's a good movie and a good scene, and then you put it in Panucci's Pizza, and it's garbage.
That's a sick sample.
Like, when you think about the fact that some of these samples are like a minute long, and then some of the tracks they're on are like a minute and 1 second long, I'd say, okay. Well, I guess we're just listening to a sample, guys. It's like a poor man's Cornelius.
This is a poor man's Cornelius. That's actually exactly what it is. They get the same rating though.
Cornelius and Pharmakon had a baby. It's Panucci's Pizza.
Wait, that's a pretty
that's an
interesting combination.
Yeah,
it's a hot take. It's one of the hottest takes I've ever made in my life. that takes like the core of the sun.
Yeah.
Yo, I can't wait.
Does anybody else have any other fucking hot takes about Panucci's Pizza?
I would have to say that it's a 5, but it gets the 6 for the song titles, and it gets a -1 for touching women bad.
Don't do that.
True?
Yeah.
You want to give us that story, or like
the lead singer was a fucking hard rapist.
He was hard grinding, yeah.
Yeah, he's not like the guy from Remo Drive who got accused and was like, no, that's not how I went. This guy was like,
sorority noise.
Oh, shit. Yeah, this guy was like, shit, I guess that is just kind of how it is.
No,
and if you look at the guy, you'd be like, yeah, that guy looks like a sex offender. So,
damn.
If you listen to the lyrics of Versace Summer, you're like, okay, I guess we all saw this coming a little bit.
I assume he's the lead singer of this one too, right?
They're both singing on all the songs, or like some of the songs. It's not the same guy singing on every song, which I know is blowing everybody's mind.
You could have fooled me, confusing the audience.
Yeah, the audience doesn't know.
I could be wrong about that, but there's at least a couple songs where I'm like, it's two different dudes, and I see Thomas has linked me videos of them performing, and it's like they kind of go back and forth a little bit, and they're both cucks, so who cares who's singing?
If anybody has any Panucci vinyl
Panucci's
that they would like to send us so that we could give to Thomas, that would be really lovely because all the topics is worth over $100.
If you're out there, Panucci's Pizza, please like, comment, subscribe.
You specifically. No one else like, comment, subscribe. just Panucci's Pizza.
If you like jank and you hate sex offenders, please subscribe.
Yeah.
Definitely subscribe. None of us are sex offenders.
Can we get 1 like for every song on the album?
Some of us are sex offenders, but...
Can we get 1 like for every song on the album?
Let's aim for 45 likes.
I'll let Jack peg me. So
that's goals.
Or we could get 1 like for every good song.
I have 45 views. But...
yeah, or we could just get 1 like for every good song on the album, and we're right about there right now. But I gave it a 5. How did those ratings? How did those reviews?
Wait, Cameron, what you give it a 5? Everyone gives it a 5. Damn, my ratings were 4, 5, 6. I said Alex would give it the 4 and Cameron would give it the 6.
Interesting.
It's close.
Yeah, if there wasn't any sex offending, we get a 6. Just saying.
Yeah. If it wasn't any sex offending, it still gets a 5. But I didn't boost it nor reduce it for sex offending because he didn't.
Yeah, I know about that. Shout out to Panucci's Pizza, PP, if you will.
Yeah.
Pizza time is there.
So the album cover. I don't have anything to say about it. Well, do I? I mean, it's not a good album cover, but I think there's some other album covers for this non-album. So
it actually looks like the style actually reminds me of a Greatest Hits album by this band Squeeze, because they're.
I was about to say it's a Greatest Hit album by this band Panucci's Pizza. So
because the cover for that one's also like a weird little drawing with like just the name of the band and stuff. So I kind of like how it's stylized as like a Italian, like a local Italian restaurant pizza box. I think that's kind of cute, but other than that, kind of garbage.
Yeah, it's not actually good. I guess
it's kind of sad that like, when your band is so unknown that like, the difference between your most known song and least known song is so little that really all of your songs are your greatest hits.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That's their greatest strength.
And also their most crippling weakness. Speaking of crippling weakness, my album this week was The Creek. Anybody else? Anything else, Dad? I kind of just jumped into it.
Oh, that was a good segue. You killed it.
I have crippling weakness.
You killed it.
My album this week was The Creek Drank the Cradle by Sam Beam, aka Iron and Wine. This is his first album. And the story of this album is he recorded all this shit like in his bedroom on like a shitty like recording thing, and then he sent them out as demos, and the label or like whoever he sent it to that decided to like release the album was like, oh, this is a good album, and he's like, no, they're just demos, and they're like, oh, we already made it. So they just kind of what they got.
Wait, that explains way too much.
Yeah, I still think that a lot of these songs are really. I still think most of these songs are still like really good because. When you listen to some of Iron and Wine's other stuff, it gets to the point where it's just kind of like, it started off in like the really strong like lo-fi indie folk genus, and then as he like released subsequent albums, it gets less and less indie folk and more just like contemporary folk, which isn't a bad thing. But I think there's some kind of charm in like some of the lo-fi aspects of not just this album, but like a lot of just folk music in general. I think like gains a lot from having that kind of lo-fi edge, like the Gregory Alan Isakov of week 1, that the namesake of the famous Isakov.
Yeah, the Isakov.
One of the most.
I don't think we ever said the term on air.
I'm sure we have.
I'm positive. I think every time we finish a recording, it's like, when are you pulling another Isakov?
No. I think we coined the term in the first episode on air. Anyway, regardless, I think this album is very slightly less good than that Isakov album, but this is probably my favorite Iron and Wine album. Maybe you came here from Twilight and you're into
like the green one.
I think the green one's good too, but I think that I just in like the compass, like the north, south, east, west of folk music, I tend to kind of like live a little bit more on the lo-fi indie side, which is just this album. Like once you get to the green album,
chill too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, which is just kind of what I'm into anyway. I like studying and chilling. So I also really just like the song "Promising Light." It's probably one of my favorite folk songs, if not just my favorite. I think it's like the least popular song off the album, or it's up there. Maybe not the least popular, because the ones at the end get very not popular. Anyway, but I think that it's good. If you're coming here because you were into the Shepherd's Dog It's kind of a little bit of a different album, and by kind of I mean it's kind of night and day because there's no drums on this album at all. Maybe there is actually. There's like percussion, but I'd hesitate to call it drums really.
Is Shepherd's Dog like the album?
The name of the album.
No,
the Twilight song is
like his album. Oh, this is the Twilight album.
Yeah, the Twilight song is Flightless Bird American Mouth off that album. But anyway, that's a story for another day. What was I going with that? Oh yeah, so I think it's good. I think the album cover is comfy but underwhelming. I still think it's very funny when people say that Iron and Wine is a great band because it's just a guy, just one dude. That's what you get when you release solo music under not your name.
Yeah, you're a band. Sucks to suck.
And shout out to the random dude I played CSGO with like 2 years ago whose profile picture was the cover of Beast Epic, which was the most recent Iron and Wine album. He had no fucking idea what it was. He was a guy just like the guy playing guitar. Interested to hear what you guys thought about The Creek Drank the Cradle. Iron and Wine. 2002. That was before I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fuck your girl with my horn. Yeah.
Yeah. My pants are too small. They got torn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get some sweet butter.
My imaginary friend still watches porn. Yeah.
It's over. It's fucking over.
There's not a lot of orange that I know. There's like Dorn.
I know forlorn, but I don't know what it means, so I can't use it.
That's like woefully sad.
Oh.
Like sad and lonely. I feel like you're a bit too forlorn. Yeah.
I got some league wins on Orin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. I don't. Fuck that shit.
God, I have a really spicy one about Ryan's girlfriend, but I can't say that shit out loud.
Oh shit! Yo, I've already dropped her full name on the podcast.
That's true.
So.
When did you do that?
Probably the MCR week.
And what?
My bitch, that's my
you did.
Your favorite MCR album is the first one.
I think I don't think you full named her, but I do.
No, I'm pretty sure I did.
I guess you just do it all the time.
Yeah.
Top 10 Minecraft YouTubers who've sworn. Yeah.
A strange addiction to corn.
Yeah. Alright, what'd you guys think? Quick Drink the Cradle, Iron and Wine.
Fuck your girl's pussy, now she worn.
Yeah.
This was good. This is
Her pussy was cold, not warm. Yeah.
I took a pledge, now I'm sworn. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
Shawty yeah. These niggas watch that sweating out, they better be clothes.
I felt like this. I fucked your bitch and she wished she was never born. Yeah.
You gotta wrap it up with born again.
I fucked your bitch and I wish I was never born. Yeah.
I wish I was.
I'm on the loose like my boy Jason. Yeah. Everybody's a fucking critic.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the deal with airline food? Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'm so damn worried. It's got me pacing. Yeah.
I don't want to. I'm not gonna explain the reference to Cameron. I think it's better that way.
I'll get it.
All right. So, Iron and Wine. It's pretty fine. Yeah. So I enjoyed this. Didn't think too much of it, except that like I don't particularly care for folk music in general. So like I never got like the impression.
Because you're a communist.
Yeah, because I want to try communism at least once.
At least once.
Yeah. At least once. Yeah.
That's why you're
we don't know
voting
if
for
it works.
Yeah, we don't know yet. It's up in the air.
There's literally no examples of people trying real communism.
Yeah, it doesn't. Don't know if it works.
Can we please try communism at least once?
So,
yeah.
Like, how do we even know communism?
I need that shit on a t-shirt, honestly. That'd be way too funny. I want to try communism at least.
At least once.
Like, how do you know communism's even real if we've never seen it? It's like the moon.
Oh, deadass.
So we went to this one party, and Payne said that this one chick was gonna come, and the one chick has a quote unquote girlfriend who is communist, and the whole time me and Matt were so fucked. We just kept yelling, "Can we try communism at least once?" And then we'd look right at her. We were trying to get a rise out of her. She wouldn't do it all night. It was like a 4-hour like trial and error.
She was probably just like, "Wow, these niggas are drunk," and just kept
like it was. I would always just dead stare at her too. Like I need a rise.
She went to her fucking commune and talked shit about you guys afterwards.
She's the only person that we can not get a rise out of at the parties. We always get a rise out of anybody we're trying to fuck with.
Y'all just trying to piss off anyone.
You would just try to. I wanted her to react. I wanted to hear what she wanted to say about communism and why she should try it at least once.
It's because getting a reaction is capitalist.
Oh shit! She's a true commune.
Yeah, you just share the anger.
Not be letting the free market win.
The free market.
Anger exists only in the free market.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was sad in Russia. All right, so Jack, he didn't particularly care for it because he doesn't like folk music.
No, I know. I really enjoyed it. I just
you don't particularly care for folk music, rather.
Yeah. So I don't like know how I was thinking like if I were to give this a rating, I have no idea what I would like put it at.
You don't have a reference. You don't have a
because I have literally no problems with the album at all. Of anything I listen to, I think the production suits it well. I quite enjoyed all the songwriting. I enjoyed the instrumentation, and especially like the twangy slide guitar stuff, and some other stuff.
I actually think that Iron and Wine's become a less good singer, but I think that the style of singing he's gone to more recently suits the music he's doing now better. Because this shit's like weirdly intimate. I can hear sometimes I can hear his fucking lips moving, and that's kind of like nasty a little bit. But then I'm like, damn, he's actually just singing. He gets very close.
I don't know about the lo-fi lips moving, but I guess the hi-fi lips moving would be even worse.
Yeah, like moving at 60 FPS.
Yeah, so I liked it a lot. I probably will put this on whenever I want some chill
lo-fi hip-hop beats to study
when I'm trying to feel like I am a true Southern boy.
If you're trying to feel like you're a true Southern boy, don't listen to folk music.
Yeah, it's really not.
Just listen to country.
At this point, you just gotta listen to rap.
Yeah, if you're trying to be a true Southern boy and your dad's not a lawyer, you're already doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What's that even mean?
But yeah, I would put this like I did this thing after I saw a review for this album on Rate Your Music. I started dividing the folk music that I listen to into seasons, and I would put this on like the fall to the very beginning of winter season. A lot of his new stuff is summer folk music, which isn't bad. But I think winter is probably my favorite, and summer is about my least favorite. But that's like the difference between like a 7 and a 9. So you know what I mean. But it's cozy. That's what it is. It's cozy. I feel like I just invited Iron and Wine to my house and was like, let's play some.
How does this compare to the Twilight album?
I like the Twilight album less because it's not lo-fi. Like I said, I just think that as he went farther and farther ahead, like this wasn't the first album because I listened to, but after I listened to it, I started liking the other ones I listened to less because I realized like where he came from and was like, oh, he could have just done some more of the fucking lo-fi indie shit, which would have been.
He didn't even want this album to sound like this, so.
Yeah,
that's true. Like he was like, yeah, these are good demos, and they're like, oh, we already pressed it.
Yeah, like he never wanted to do this shit anyway.
But I think it's I think it's definitely. I don't think I think like the worst Iron and White album I've heard is like maybe like a high 6, low 7, and that's just because I like him. I know he gets kind of like a, that fucking in the same way that like. You're not allowed to like certain bands that are popular because they're popular. He's kind of like the fucking the beat. No, that's a bad example. He's just like a big guy in the folk community because he's got the Twilight song and other popular songs. So some people, if you're like, oh, I really like Iron and Wine, they're like, oh, okay, you fucking poser. But then it's like, then you drop like an Alan Isakov or like some fucking super. That's not really that indie, but you drop some fucking heinous.
You better say super discount.
And then you're like, oh, how about Panucci's Pizza? And they're like, okay, I stand corrected. I didn't know you were into the indie shit.
Oh no, he's retarded.
I didn't know you were a man of culture as well.
Yeah, oh, I see. So that's kind of my I mean, I also don't really. I got involved in the folk community one time and I got scared away, so I fucking hard pass on that shit. Because if you get too deep in the folk community, it's like, yeah, this dude that goes to the bar that I go to in my fucking small town in Georgia is the greatest folk musician to ever live, and it's like, okay, let's fucking calm it down there, Chuck. More like Cuck.
Yeah.
Iron and Wine's got a huge beard.
Yeah.
That's
How the others feel about the album?
Yeah, the other folk music fanatics.
Folk music fanatic number 69 checking in.
Oh shit, 69.
25.
45?
73, some number. 45. All right, I'll take 45. Like Trump.
No.
Yeah.
No, fuck Trump.
Orange man good.
I want to fuck you, Donnie.
Yeah.
I want to suck your dick, Donnie.
John.
God, what is? Oh fuck, I don't know the lyrics.
Alright, so this album was chill. I don't know. I gave it a 6. I really have nothing to say. It was pleasant. You could just like put it on.
This is not as abrasive as
and you just like listen to it. Nah, I succumb. I don't know. I keep meaning to go back and listen to that album, but I'm afraid.
Do it out of principle.
I'm like afraid that I'm gonna like it or some shit. I have no reason to believe that I would.
I think that
I'm pretty sure I'll dislike it just as much. But
yeah, I think that if you were to actually ever get all the way through it and listen to it, you would learn your opinion would just be like, oh, it's chill to the point where it's probably boring.
Yeah, I'd probably just still be bored with it, but this wasn't bored because I don't know. It's just I don't know. Just felt like the nigga was singing to me. He was just playing some like pleasant guitar, I guess.
I just can't imagine
everything was chill.
How jarring. It wouldn't even be that jarring. Like, imagine if the playlist was like flipped and it was like Pharmakon into Iron and Wine. How jarring that would be.
Pharmakon into Iron. That would be. I don't know.
Because like the last
I never actually like went off into something else because if you just listen to Panucci's Pizza, you're done for the day.
Oh yeah, no, I don't either. The only reason I even say that is because I know that for some reason, like almost all of you listen to the shit in the playlist instead of listening to it as the album.
I listen to it as the album.
Oh, I listen to that shit on the playlist. I think I only
just put it in the playlist, but I'll usually stop once the like album ends.
I only listen to this like without listening to Panucci's Pizza once, like as a stream through it, and I thought it was some chill lo-fi hip hop beats to study and chill to. Actually, I didn't like studying and chilling to it because it was too chill and it doesn't make the studying go by faster. This
is like time to go to sleep music, or like your girlfriend dumped you and you don't listen to like any emo music.
Like it's like easy listening music, but I don't want to be easy listening when I'm studying. So
yeah,
who's supposed to be headbanging?
I need the bangers.
I need energy. I require fucking.
Which works out nicely because the next album would, if you listen to it in the list, would just be saying anger. That get you pumped up.
Oh yeah.
It make you angry.
You know what that is?
Angry.
You know, even if I do stream it through, like from Panucci's Pizza to Iron and Wine, as soon as we get to Metallica, I stop. So Iron and Wine is kept in this nice little box. It's right next to the other lo-fi album. It's better. And it just like I don't know. I think it's your common man's Mark Kozlek. You know, someone who's not.
That's crazy. A hot take. Yeah, it's like if Mark Kozlek got the help he needs.
Yeah, I think it is. It truly is. It is. If Mark Kozlek wasn't allowed to go into the spiral of craziness.
If you listen to Sun Kill Moon's first album and just imagine it, like if you just have just Mark Kozlek's parts and then make it lo-fi, it's not like that far removed, honestly. No. Like it's kind of far removed, but it's not like that jarring. One of my plans in the off season is to make a tier list of the folk music I listen to and like the songs and stuff. And I think Promising Light might be one of the top 5 folk songs I've ever heard. Just for some reason, I don't know. I just really like that song. But I think the thing with a lot of folk music, for a lot of people in general, is just like it's you either find it really boring and don't get through it, or you get through it because it's kind of like the same sort of beats. Like it just keeps hitting some of the same beats, and it's like, okay, well, let's just chill. Or you, and then your opinion is like, oh, it's really chill, I can put it on and listen to it, it's a 6. Or oh, it's really chill, I can put it on and listen to it, it's a 9. Like that's the kind of or you find it boring and you don't like it. And that's just kind of like the only real. Like I don't know what like the sicko mode of folk music is, but like I'm afraid.
Me neither.
I'm afraid that I might have found it and not known, because that's the kind of thing that it might be.
I think definitely that I'm going to listen to this again, 100%.
Yeah. If any of you guys found yourselves liking this album, I would recommend the Green Album.
The Green one.
By Weezer. No, the Green Album by Iron One. And also I think Beast Epic, which is his most recent of like new stuff, is also really good, but it's pretty different because it's more of like a contemporary folk than the lo-fi hip hop piece to study and chill to.
Is this the Mac DeMarco of folk music?
In what, like, as in like to put it on the map, or that a lot of girls pretend that they like the genre but they really only like this guy? Both. I would say that Iron and Wine in the folk community, I definitely say that Iron and Wine's probably the most popular, or like most ubiquitous. Like you can put on some, like he's had songs in commercials and shit, so you can, there's like some stuff that you might not like know is by him, but that you like recognize sometimes, which has happened. Like I showed this album to my sister and she recognized one of the songs, like not the Twilight song, but a different one. She also told me a random anecdote that her roommate was obsessed with Iron and Wine when she was in college. And I was like, oh, she really liked the Twilight song, right? And she was like, no, it wasn't the Twilight song. And basically after an hour and a half of showing her random pieces of music, she found out it was the Twilight song. Because I was able, because if you hear
that's like the John Lennon's beard.
Yeah, if you hear College Girl in, you know, the early 2010s is really into Iron and Wine because of the Twilight song. Yeah, that's just kind of the way it is. I mean, maybe she's into the other shit too, but it's because she recognized the Twilight song. I kept playing it for her. She's like, this isn't it, this isn't it. I'm like, we're just going to sit down and you're going to listen to this thing the whole way through and you're going to tell me it's not it. She's like, oh, it is it. I was like, yeah, I fucking knew it.
Now, you probably didn't get to like the "Have I Found You" part, so she didn't like recognize it.
Because she was like, "I don't recognize the beginning of it." I'm like, "Yeah, there's a change up in the middle of the song. You got I hadn't listened to it. Like I hadn't listened to the Shepherd's Dog album by this time, but I knew that was this Twilight song. Fuck.
Me and Matt last semester when we visited his parents at the cabin, the boathouse, and we on the television we marathoned I think 3 of the Twilight movies.
Oh Lord!
It was a surreal experience. It really was.
Yeah, I bet.
They're not as bad as I remember, but they're not great.
My sister was obsessed with those books.
Well, the Twilight's one of those things where it's like I have never seen any of them, but I would imagine that the movies are actually just passable and people just fucking hated it because it was Twilight. It's like one of those things. Like,
I mean, they're probably like bad, but like not like bad egregious. So they're just, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Also, to answer the question you asked originally, I think that Bon Iver is the Mac DeMarco of folk music.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah. But he doesn't make folk music anymore. Mac DeMarco.
Well, that's why he's the Mac DeMarco, dude. He bucked the trend.
God damn.
That's kind of a fucking hot take, I would say. But I think that's kind of the case. But Iron and Wine's kind of up there. I have a lot of respect for Sam Beam. He's from North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Or South Carolina? He's from one of the Carolinas.
Roll Tide.
I love Carolina.
Yeah. How did your prediction stack up, Jack? I gave it a 9, by the way. It would be a 10, but I already have too much folk music at a 10, and this is like.
Well, I said 8 for Alex.
Well, you thought I would pick an 8 and put it on the podcast?
You've done it before. I thought Cruz would give it a 7. I don't know. Cruz doesn't give ratings, but I think that's pretty accurate. I thought Cameron would give it a 5.
You're close.
You're close.
Like a 6. So yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I give that shit a 6. Yeah. You
album cover.
Yeah.
Album
cover.
Cameron gave a 6. Yeah. I got 6 dicks. Yeah.
Alright, so the album cover, I like that. It looks like it's on like paper or some shit.
Yeah,
not like paper, but you know what I mean.
It's like canvas.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Like the little potato sacks type shit.
Yeah. Like what the fuck is that called? Burlap.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what the potato sack material is.
Burlap. Let me investigate. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of boring. Yeah, burlap. Hessian fabric. Hessian burlap in the U.S. and Canada, or crocus in Jamaica is a woven fabric usually made from skin of the jute plant or sisal fibers, which may be combined with other vegetable fibers to make rope nets and similar products.
What did you call it? You call it jute?
Jute? I don't know.
It is jute. But that was funny. Jute.
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry.
I think I did the soft J, but yeah,
I think
the album cover besides is kind of boring. I feel like if the tree were like big, and then the name were big, it would be better. And it was like in the center. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's too much negative space the way it is.
Yeah, it's just very like, it's kind of like the album. It's kind of sparse. Just chill.
It feels like some shit that he slapped on a demo. If he is the one that actually like made the cover and not the
yeah, I got no idea about that. I just remember I didn't even know that. I just read that it was supposed to be the demo, and then the people just released it. And he was like, "Okay, I guess that's fine."
Okay, bet.
I'm gonna go back and edit it.
I'm surprised he never like re-released it, like. But I guess he didn't feel like it. I don't know.
I mean, I guess maybe to an extent too. Like maybe he was just going for the lo-fi sound to begin with anyway, and they were like, "Well, what better way to be lo-fi than just fucking release the demos?"
Badass.
I think too, if I go back at some point and edit my like intro to folk little chart I made for Mew, if I go back and edit it, I'll put this on there somewhere because I think this is a better indication.
I'm glad that if I ever browse Mew again and I see an intro to folk, it was you.
I mean, you never know. It might be somebody else. I'm not the only one. I'm one of the only ones, but you never know.
I'm one of the only ones. No one talks about folk on that fucking bitch.
Yeah, folk's not like a. You can't have.
It's not really a meme genre.
You can't have a lot of hot.
A couple, like,
you just can't. There's not a lot of hot takes in folk because everything's just so fucking like. There's nobody moshing at folk shows. You know, there's no like, oh, this guy's sold out with folk music. If you're selling out, you're going country. And if you're going country, we're not even gonna talk about you. And nobody asked me what the difference between folk and country music is because I might deflect the question.
There's no difference.
Because I don't know. There is a difference. The next album we have is a country music. The next album is a country music album.
yeah. Country folk album. Sorry.
You got the different.
Do we want to do?
Oh wait! I didn't talk about how Iron and Wine makes you lose track of time.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that just puts you in a trance because it's just
chill.
Yeah,
it just puts you in a trance because it's just like mad chill, so you're not really paying attention.
There's no bad vibes.
If it fails to make you lose track of time, then the album is not good.
I would not necessarily say that it's good vibes, but it's not bad vibes.
Yeah,
it's like sad vibes.
On the chill vibes.
Not bad vibes.
Not bad vibes. That's what it's all about. Good, not bad.
It's like threatening, good, not bad. It's like threateningly morose, I would say.
What the fuck?
This is a hot take. That fucking sequel is stacked. So the next album we had was Angry.
Do we want to do Saint Anger as the final boss?
No. There is a final boss in this podcast. I'll tell you one thing: it's not Saint Anger as much as you can believe it.
Damn. All right, so.
But there are a lot of similarities we can bring up.
Saint Anger is it is a midlife crisis. In album form.
It's the Angry Arthur meme.
It also happens to be made by Metallica, but the fact that it's made by Metallica is kind of incidental. Is like some like preternatural shit that was like destined to happen, no matter who would end up making Saint Anger.
There had to be a Saint Anger in the timeline.
Saint Anger is like an impossibility to the future. It's like an inevitability for the future.
James Hetfield sold like someone long ago sold their soul to the devil, and this is the price that they had to pay. It came in the form of Metallica making this album.
Yeah. So,
like whoever made Blues, just like this was part of that.
One of the big four had to make it, and one of the timeline was Metallica.
Oh my god!
I can't imagine this should be
another timeline. There's another timeline where it's like Iron and Wine released Saint Anger.
There's no way Megadeth would put out this fucking bullshit.
That would be sick. That's a timeline.
Dave Grohl would put it out first.
No! That's even better. Where's the Dave Grohl timeline?
I think out of all of them, like it had to either been Metallica or Slayer. Like
no. Slayer's already done some meme shit.
Slayer made like a straight new metal album, I'm pretty sure.
The all covers of punk songs is a fucking slapper.
This could have been a Limp Bizkit album.
I mean, like, it's not far off.
It would have been culturally appropriate if it was a fucking
You know what
Limp
this is
Bizkit
actually
album.
close to? This is like Slipknot. This is like Slipknot light. This is the part where he's hitting a trash can.
So the history.
That's very Slipknot.
The history. Okay, so Metallica, big deal in the '80s, big for thrash, one of the biggest metal bands in the world, and then in the '90s they sell out.
The first band to play on all 7 continents of the United States.
That's
Fuck yeah.
No, wait, of the world.
No, of the United States.
the
United Continents, sorry.
We go to school in America. They're all our continents anyway.
Alright, so in the '90s they
I go
sell
to school
out,
in the hood. I don't go to school in America.
They make the Black Album, which is kind of a basic bitch metal album, and then they make Load and Reload, which are these really weird, like, hard rock albums with this like southern twang that they started doing. That's just why. I don't know.
That should have been the mistakes. Why is there 2 more? Why are there 2 more mistakes after those 2?
Because Load and Reload weren't like memey enough. They had to.
Yeah. So yeah, the 2000s hit, and the bassist and James get in an argument, and the bassist leaves, and James goes to rehab for alcoholism, and Lars sues Napster, and all the greatest shit in the world is happening.
What the fuck is Napster?
It's
pirating
in the 90s and 2000s.
It was the original way to
Free
pirate
Soul
music.
C.
What about LimeWire?
Same thing.
LimeWire is where you go get viruses.
LimeWire got big off the shutdown of Napster.
Yeah. If you ever use LimeWire, you were a normie, but it's okay.
Yeah. So if you ever wonder why people hate Lars, there's 2 reasons. One is because he's a fucking weird drummer.
He's a manlet.
The second is because of Napster.
And the third is because his name sounds like Mars.
But yeah. So this album is being produced in like the shittiest of circumstances. Their producer that they had since the Black Album, Bob Rock, plays bass on the album, and they decided to do this. They Bob Ross, yes, Bob Ross plays bass on the album. They decided to do this.
If Bob Ross played bass, like I wouldn't even flinch. Like that would just make sense.
What about playing bass on Saint Anger?
I didn't hear a single bass in this album. We'll keep it a billion.
Robert Ross would never be in an album called
Saint Anger.
That's true. He literally never would.
Did you call him Bobbert Ross?
Yes, it's his full name.
So yeah, this album is a fucking meme. So there's a lot of very interesting decisions that go into this. The first is that every song is a really long, extended, like, jam session-y thing where they have like all these parts that they like came up with, and they're just going back and forth between all these different parts that they have, and there's no solos, which is a really questionable decision for a Metallica album, considering that
album.
For a metal album in general, but like especially for Metallica, because like Kirk Hammett is basically only known for solos, and Lars decides to take the snares off his snare drum, and so
he loosened it. He loosened it to where like you could hit. I
think like the way it happened is like they started recording, and he forgot to like do the snares, so like he was like, holy shit, that sounds cool.
Oh my god.
It does sound cool. I'll keep it a billion.
So yeah, the reason a snare is snappy, the snares come back and silence it after a second, and those aren't there, so it's fucking, that shit rings.
It sounds like a trash can.
It does.
That is the meme.
It's not a meme. It's the truth.
At least when the guy in Slipknot plays the trash can, he plays the trash can. He doesn't play a fucking fake drum.
And then James Hetfield's lyrics are
awful.
Amazing.
They're an event. They're truly a gift from God in a way.
Way too funny. Tick 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 tock. He predicted TikTok. See, it all circles around. See,
wasn't there a line about him like getting shot and then coming back as a zombie, and they're gonna shoot him again? Or am I just misremembering? It's something about shooting him again, wasn't there? He was like, shoot me again, dude.
He just says, shoot me again, I ain't dead yet. I don't know what, I don't know what I wasn't paying that much attention to the lyrics at that point in the album.
And maybe I was just making it up just to try to do it. I also remember that song we talked about how his death style is determined by the actions he takes while he's alive.
Yes. As you might say, my lifestyle determines my death style.
It's way funny. It's way funnier when you guys were just saying it like that. I was like, whatever, and then just hearing how fucking like raw and aggressive he's singing that line is even funnier. My lifestyle determines my death style.
It's really a gift.
It really is.
So yeah. So this album is musically very interesting because like the tone of it is like a weird, like, it's like they took the sound that they were doing on Load and Reload and then decided, hey, what if we add some of like the more like metal-y elements back in, but only like half the time. So like, you know, like on some of these tracks they'll have points where they're having like fast thrashy riffs almost, and they'll have like these like super fast double bass drums, and then they'll just go back to doing like southern rock twang riffs, and it's like, what are you guys doing? It's just nuts. It's and then there's the new metal backing vocals on some of the tracks. Oh, it's so good. just like it's on Invisible Kid where she's
Invisible Kid.
No, it's like, open your heart, something right here, right now. It's so. This album's amazing, and honestly, I do think that this album gets more shit than it deserves. I think that the snareless snare drum, as an idea, is kind of alright. I think that if you're gonna do that ever, you should probably have another snare drum on your kit that has the snares on, and choose which ones to use at the right time.
No, the whole thing.
It's like taking. No, I can't even make that reference. So yeah, it's like being like, I don't want to play the A string on this song, so we're just gonna remove the A string from my guitar. So there's no A string allowed, just period. Nobody's allowed to hear the A string. But I do agree that this album is kind of like a victim of like that. You know, we have a really high esteem from seeing how high this. It's like the Endless River by Pink Floyd gets so much shit because it's like, oh, it's not the Dark Side of the Moon, and it's like, well, yeah, it fucking never was gonna be, dude. Like, it's like, so for me personally, never listened to a Metallica album. Really only know Metallica from the hits. So listening to this, having very little to no context in terms of like the deep cuts, I didn't think it was that bad. It's not good. It's not fantastic, but it's not like a half star on Rate Your Music worst album ever made. It's like, no, okay, it's if it's anybody but Metallica, this album doesn't get the amount of shit that it does. It gets shit from people probably.
Oh yeah, I got by just random people in 2003. Like no one would know about it first of all, and then like I don't know. Well, and then probably have like close to 3 stars at least.
It wasn't until I even like listened to this album that I heard more about this that I realized that it has the rapid death going to the fucking Lulu album they did for basically the same reasons, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean that one does.
It just sounds weird.
Yeah, that one is even more like.
That one's a brain experiment.
That one.
I think anytime like you're collabing with Lou Reed, it's gonna come out like.
That one. The Lulu gets the more of like it's experimental treatment, and this one's just like, yeah, they tried to make a metal album, but didn't do it great.
We haven't gone over the fact that they switched up the band dynamic because they were going through such tough times. And
I forgot to watch the documentary.
Well, I forgot to watch the documentary too. But I've watched half of it.
I've seen parts of it. It's pretty.
Was I the only one who watched it?
Do you actually watch it?
No, but what if I did?
So from the documentary, they switched. First of all, they're letting a documentary run during their recording process, and
which is a recipe for failure.
Yes, it was an awful idea, especially for like in general, metal lyrics aren't like
I don't know about doing it for
of.
music. Like I don't.
But like, so it when you read metal lyrics without the context of anything going on in the background, like you're reading from a script, it's one of the cringiest things that you can ever do.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Because metal lyrics are alright because the backing backs it up. Like, that's what a backing is called, right? That's why it's there.
It's like if you ever get bored, just read black metal lyrics, and it's like, how did that? It's like that's what they're saying.
They change up the band dynamic, and where they used to never give anybody shit for anything, and they would just raw dog it and make songs through brute force. Like the guitar guy would do his guitar stuff, and no one would say shit about his solos. No one would say shit about anything, and they just continued on, and they would force it. They'd make the songs, and they'd shit it out. People like it, right? But now the band dynamic for Saint Anger is, first of all, I think there's a therapist there. That they talk to.
He was in rehab for the entire thing, and they wouldn't let him record for too long at a time, and so like they had these incredibly strict hours, and they had like people from his rehab there helping him the entire time.
And they're forced to record in this odd space too. It's not like a real studio. It's like some fucking weird ass like loft in like by some weird ass apartment complexes where it's like it's where the like the below middle class like white people live, and like your kids like get out of the apartment complex and go play in the park and then come back at the end of the day, like some weird ass fucking new shit. But it's like it. So they're very open about the process, and so everybody is criticizing the guitar, and I think he doesn't do solos out of spite, and I guess they were so tired of him making solos that they just can't have him. They just there's a fucking solo band on Saint Anger, and they was just like, fuck it, I don't like what's going on, we're just gonna roll with it. So there's no solos, and he seems like every time they talk about his guitar work, he gets more pissed. He gets angrier, he gets grumpier, and each day is just a shit fest. So he doesn't want to be there.
Is he the namesake? Is he Saint Anger?
So he doesn't want to be there. The drummer looks like he's eating 20 pancakes a fucking day. Like he's looking rough. And then Hetfield is literally going through the worst part of his entire life, and now he has to be open about song lyrics. So he writes song lyrics.
Going through a divorce. He was also
going through a divorce too. So
rehab, a divorce, and he has to deal with this bitch ass album.
Yeah, he has to deal with the bitch ass album.
And Metallica could have retired in like 1995 and had enough money for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
He's pushing this shit.
So they're pushing it, and so he writes the song lyrics. And then they're like, okay, well, now we got to evaluate them, see if we want to put it into what kind of song. And they make him do that. And it is that's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen, because they just start picking it apart, like, what does monster mean? Or like, and they start picking out the words, and it's like, don't do it. It already sounds bad.
What do you mean your
lifestyle
determines your death style?
They let that through.
Let that one through.
No, they let all of them through because, first of all, I don't know. It seemed like through the documentary, no one but him writes lyrics. Because everybody just does their own thing, and they eventually just mash it together.
Yeah, so practically they did the same. They ended up doing the same thing they always do, but they made everyone's moods fucking go to the dumpster, and like. Yeah. It just took longer.
Yeah, it took fucking forever too.
But they accomplished the same thing they always do. It just came out like worse because they trolled.
But they delivered the same product, but without what they usually do. I don't know. The process was different, and that's why it's a different album. Like these are people who are just put in an awful situation, and they just keep going. For better or for worse, it's not, people say like hard times create good music, and that's fucking wrong. This is bullshit. Sometimes it does.
This is like the kid you beat up every day at school and take his lunch money, and then he comes back and brings even more lunch money the next day to compensate for the lunch money he didn't have the day before. And then so you beat him up again and take even more of his lunch money, and then he brings it back even more. The end product of that is sane anger. Like that kind of mentality of like, well, if he took all my money today, I got to bring twice as much tomorrow so I can make up for what I didn't have today.
I feel like I don't know if they had a record contract. They probably did. I feel like it was out of necessity for money, but because there's no way.
I don't think they necessarily needed money.
They needed money because Lars Ulrich shut down Napster, dude. Remember? He was like, we're gonna starve. You're gonna starve if you don't buy our music. We're one of the greatest selling bands of all time, and if we don't buy our albums, we're actually gonna starve to death.
You can't
I might have to go.
A day.
I might have to go back to Denmark or whatever.
I might have to go down to 15 pancakes a
day. You can't be bashing on Lars too much. She doesn't get actually that
eats
awful.
20 pancakes a day. He's 5'6". The math doesn't add up.
The thing about the Lars bashing
Denmark.
is that part of the Lars bashing is that like he stops being a great drummer at a certain point, and honestly, this album is not that point. Like, yes, the snare sound is bad, but like his drumming on this album is high energy. Like he's double kick drumming on a lot of songs here, and like
I've watched interviews with Lars Ulrich. He just seems like such a nice guy too. Just seems like such a fucking normal dude. He's a fucking animal. If Lars Ulrich was like 6'8", nobody'd be talking shit. I'll tell you that much.
But on the later albums, his drumming does start to feel really like, all right, Lars, come on.
Lars is also like 60 years old now, isn't he?
Oh yeah, they're old. They're old now.
They're like fucking grandpas.
This was 2003, and this was their midlife crisis album. So
that's what I'm saying. Midlife crisis at 60. James Hamilton, fucking James.
I like that. Like Lars and the singer are the only original members still there.
Well, it's kind of hard for the bassist. The original bassist.
The guitarist Kirk Hammett is the same one who's been on all the albums. And the reason, and so like there were members before, like Dave Mustaine, who made Megadeth. He was part of the band, and he got
Ozzy Osbourne.
He got kicked out before his drug addictions. Ironic considering this album, right?
And honestly, dude,
What was Megadeth doing in 03?
In 03, they were chilling.
If the companies that hired bus drivers for concerts were just a little more basis, but alas, you fucking hit the hard car accident.
Though there was a thing going around that was basically like, hey, they were planning to kick Lars out before Cliff died, and the only reason Lars is still in the band is because Cliff died.
Cliff Burton died. Fucking sad.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been the time to do it, because it's like, well, we're just gonna fucking replace everybody now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You pump fake and pretend like you're disbanding, but then you don't.
I don't know. Call it the pump fake.
That is literally the pump fake, 100%.
Pump fake like we're disbanding, but we drop Saint Anger too.
Jesus.
That's the next. It's not gonna be. I guarantee you, in our lifetime, we're gonna see Saint Anger remastered.
Probably. The
record store edition.
Like the 25th anniversary or something.
Yeah, record store day.
Record day store.
And honestly, like, one of the things that everyone complains about on this album is the production, and I honestly don't think the production is like the bad part of this album. Like, yeah, the snare is tragic, and like there are some songs where the mix is really muddy and not great. Like I think Invisible Kid suffers from it, but like on some of the songs, like I think the mix and the production is pretty good and like captures what they were going for. The things that I always think is that in my time listening to this album, like things that I always come back to is like this was the big mistake is like the lyrics and song length, and like those are the things that have consistently plagued Metallica since the Black Album. so they're kind of not unique, even though this is supposedly the bad one, right? Its problems are not unique to it, really. Like, every album that they've made is absurdly long for what it is, and every one of and like all the later ones have like really like have like song lyrics where it's like, what were you thinking? Why'd you think this is okay?
I like how Saint Anger has the most reviews out of any of their albums.
Yeah.
People really have things to say.
Yeah, you know. It's just tragic, you know. It's actually hilarious. But yeah, I think that a lot of the actual riffs on the album are kind of killer. I really love the main riffs from Frantic and Saint Anger, and I also like the riff from Dirty Window. That song is is the most blatant with like the southern rock kind of feel. As far as the instrumental goes, but like I feel like the way they did it just really works. Because like it's like this really energetic riff, but like the parts where they just like slow it down and like palm read all the notes, it's like it just works.
That was this song. That was the one where he sounded like he had 2 of the fucking trash cans.
Which song?
Dirty Window, track 4.
Was he suing Napster during this?
I think he's suing.
It would have been like around this time.
It was like I think it was maybe during the recording of the album, but I want to say it was like 01, 02.
So the reason that this is like the album is because there's so much going on around it, and I don't think there's as much history or documentation around the other albums that fucking suck. Right?
The reason that it's this album is because it's Metallica. That's just the way it is.
No, but there's also all the shit, like the fucking documentary. There's a movie. There's a movie about the album.
But if you literally take everything, like if you take all of the stuff that this album has...
If you take the movie away,
if you take the Napster
thing away, you take the Metallica thing away...
Cruz, you don't take anything away. You take everything this album is and transport it onto a band that you've never heard of, it doesn't have the same fucking anything. It's literally just...
one of their band members isn't suing Napster. And there's not a documentary about it.
Did you hear what I said? I said you take everything surrounding the album and you put it onto like Panucci's Pizza. This album doesn't get the worst metal album of all time shit. It's literally because it's Metallica.
Yeah.
Like that's like people.
That's what Cruz is trying to say too, basically.
No. Cruz is trying to imply that it's like without Napster, this album. It's like no, it doesn't fucking matter. It's the fact that it's Metallica. None of the other shit really actually matters. I still don't understand how them making a documentary makes the album worse in any way. It's like you just have a documentary.
It doesn't.
No,
there's more exposure.
It's
just a recipe for disaster.
It makes the phone perception. The
phone makes the phone reception suck.
You can have more opinions about it because you know more about it.
Yeah.
I feel like you can have less opinions about it because you know more about it.
You're just the funniest person ever.
No, but I feel like you're able to have way more opinions when you don't know shit because you can just make shit up. But like once you have the heart,
you have way more to talk about.
No, once you have the heart,
demonstrably, that's not how it works.
If you have an opinion like, oh, this album sucks because they put no effort into it, and you see the documentary and they obviously put effort into it, you can't say, oh, they put no effort into it.
Yeah, but you can say the billion other things that are begged from watching the documentary. So
yeah, you could have also said before you saw the documentary.
Yeah, but now you have proof to it. You can say it more.
So
Speculation isn't that interesting without any evidence.
I would. Well, I mean, that's a hot take.
Not a hot take.
Isn't the entire conspiracy theory community built on the fact that it's all speculation with no evidence?
No, because they believe they have evidence.
That's what I'm saying. That's not just because you believe you have evidence doesn't mean you have evidence.
Yeah, but so like, all you have to do is believe you have evidence. If the only thing you have is the music, that no one, that's not good enough for like evidence that's gonna get like traction.
Well, no, that's why you think about what it could be. That's the whole point. You hear the music and it's like, oh, there's something going on here. I wonder what it could be. And then you see the documentary and you know what it is. And you don't have an opinion on it.
Well, then you don't have an opinion talk about it.
Yeah, you just see what it is. It's not having an opinion anymore. It's like, oh, I saw the documentary. This is what happened.
Yeah, and then you talk about like the shit that happened in the documentary, and then you flame Lars for trolling.
Yeah, it's not an opinion then, and then you're just flaming Lars for trolling.
Yeah, so you have more to say about it because you can flame Lars directly.
So you have less opinions, and you just have what happened.
No, you have more opinions. You're more opinionated about the album.
No, we're not stopping this. We're not stopping this until me and Cameron reach a stalemate.
It never gets anywhere because you deflect and you don't actually do anything.
No, it doesn't go anywhere because Cameron's
and then
wrong.
You hit the nose. No.
What the fuck happened to you, Cruz? The fuck? You've never been this outspoken.
Doesn't go anywhere because Cameron's wrong. Why don't you guys talk about the fucking songs? Yeah.
Cameron's not wrong.
The songs are too long. Cameron is wrong. We'll talk about it after the show.
Cameron is not wrong.
We'll continue to talk about it after the show. Don't worry. I'm not letting you already know I'm not letting this shit go.
Yeah, the songs.
And that's why you never win because you don't let go.
This is kind of like a waste of a good album cover too. I think we talked about that prior, but it's actually a really good album cover.
It's like it also like matches the title really well. I feel it
would have matched Frantic a lot more. Saying Anger actually makes no sense. I'll keep it a billion.
During this week, I liked calling the album Stanger just for the fun of it. Because it kind of is a stanger, whatever that means.
Yeah, it's not a banger, it's a stanger.
Yeah, it's a fucking stanger, dude. It's like that shit you take that stings a little bit after you're done. It's just a fucking stanger. That's what this album is. But I think the colors are cool, and then it's like, wow, the album's a 5. Like that's the album cover of like an 8.
Yeah.
But alas, it's not an 8. It could be.
I quite love some of the vocal performances on the album.
James Hetfield gave it his all.
Some kind of monster.
I like that part where he said, "My lifestyle determines my death style." It's literally the first song. It wouldn't have been that bad if it wasn't the first song. Like, that's the only reason anybody knows that fucking lyric. That's because it's the first thing you listen to.
Yeah, if it was chilling an unnamed feeling, like
yeah, nobody knows that
go over
shit.
everyone's head.
True. Cameron told me within 24 hours of making the playlist. He asked me, "Why does Lars hit the trash can?"
He said that when we were listening to it. He just like clicked on one of the songs and he goes, "Oh."
Just like, oh, man. I don't like that Jack likes it because it's so bad it's good. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that this is the David Cage of Metallica albums. I don't like it.
I don't
like it.
What Jack
it makes me uncomfortable.
I don't think Jack actually thinks the album's bad. It's not that it's so bad that it's good.
It is.
No, it's
every time he says something.
I don't think that. I don't.
Okay, so it's not a fact. It's an opinion. My opinion is that
your opinion is that Jack's
my subjective opinion is that I think that Jack
hates the album.
It's so bad that it's good, and I don't like that.
Okay, let me say how I don't know if I was entirely clear. I think this album is bad. I think that there are parts of it that are hilariously bad. There are other parts that are just kind of boring. And I think that there's some unappreciated good ideas.
Yeah, he's not saying that the things that are bad about the album is what makes the album
Sounds like
good.
a David Cage.
There's actual good stuff on the album that he's saying.
Like the things that are really, really bad are the things that make it worthy of memehood. But like the things that make it worth talking about as a piece of music are actually like the very few good things that are interesting that I think go unappreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, but niggas don't talk about music.
Yeah.
They just get this 0.5 and say it's the worst thing that ever came out.
That shit is way too funny. There's so many dimes.
And
it's so salty.
And then you have like every 5
it's
reviews.
Just noise.
Like every 10 reviews on Rate Your Music is like, I guess I'm the odd one out here, and they give it like 3 stars. They all think they're fucking unique because they gave it a relative. Nobody's giving this thing a 10. And it's like, I guess I'm the odd one out here.
That'd be wild.
That's strong.
That would just be their opinion.
I make fun of the this is the worst album ever 0.5 attitude, but I got that for Ratitude. Yeah.
I got that for Spin. Actually, no, I got that for...
I was looking at your page, and I saw fucking your Ratitude. I was like, huh. This man doesn't like this album.
The vinyl is over $100.
For Ratitude?
Yes.
They haven't reprinted it.
Because it's rare.
Expensive. It's rare.
Like,
there's no...
Like, every
no
other Weezer album is in print, except for, like, that one.
think it is every other Weezer album that's in print.
And
I'm not sure if Hurley or...
It's got like a top 10 Weezer song on it too. That's the worst part, dude.
Rare. How much is a Saint Anger vinyl?
I'm willing to bet that they still print that shit.
They print that one. What about the one after it?
Lulu?
Death Magnetic.
This is one of
the live album.
Death Magnetic.
Lulu came out like 2012, I thought.
Oh, some kind of... Oh, that's like... Yeah, the live album. Oof.
Well, the thing about this album too is that this is also at a point where I don't know if they're printing a first pressing of this might be expensive just because they probably weren't printing that much vinyl in 2003, honestly.
Yeah.
Before the movement.
For the revival.
I feel like I've seen this album cover like just at a place. I got like a flea market or something, and then was like, oh, that looks interesting, but there's no band name on it, so I don't know who the fuck it is. And I was like, oh, that looks like a fucking cool album, maybe I'll buy it. And we've come full circle. I'd probably buy it. Maybe the snare sounds less like a trash can on vinyl.
No, it probably sounds even clearer like a fucking trash can.
Yeah.
you could probably like hear the color of the trash can, like, oh, it's like a light gray, but with like ridges, you know.
Light gray with ridges. All right.
I don't think anybody has said anything about what they like about it except for Jack.
No, guess, you know.
Is it Heavy Rain or is it Detroit Become Human? What do you think?
This is the
What's the one before? Omicron.
Yeah, Indigo Prophecy.
Oh,
Indigo Prophecy.
Which one is it? It's.
This is the
Indigo Prophecy.
Is this Heavy Rain?
Lulu is the Heavy Rain.
Okay.
This is the Indigo Prophecy.
Okay.
I think I accept that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
So that would be my rating.
Indigo Prophecy out of 10.
Indigo Prophecy.
A lot of bullshit went in Indigo Prophecy. That's a fucking funny game.
Have you ever seen... I haven't... All I've seen is just like the quick time event sequences where it's just like dozens of
I think I've just seen like the two best friends play through.
Dude, all the two best friends play through for any David Cage game is gold. All of them.
Fucking is way too good.
God, that's my favorite thing to do with the roommates is get fucking hammered and play some shitty ass story game, especially Heavy Rain or like fucking Life is Strange. It's literally peak comedy. Or like drinking every time fucking Chloe says hella. And it's 30 times in like 4 sentences, and Gene doesn't want to do it anymore. He can't. He's just a boy. Oh, but I digress. I think it's fine. I don't know. Actually, I don't think it's fine. I don't like it. Every time Jack talks about it with a smile, I feel like it's the same feeling I get when I talk about the Teal album. Like it gives Jack energy. It fuels him. It's like when someone makes a fuck Trump song and it gives him energy. That's why he's able to fucking stay awake after only like sleeping for 5 hours a day or like 4.5 or whatever it does. Like they're fueling him with hatred. The haters fuel him.
You're right. It does give me energy. Like there's something about like the album cover and title combined. When I look at it, it's something that like irradiates power. And like I look at it and I see it and I'm like, this is something that should be this is something that should be like the kind of like iconic, like this is just like the like transcendental like album cover title combination experience thing where it's like, oh, everyone knows Saint Anger. Well, it's like everyone knows Abbey Road, right? Where it's like everyone recognizes that cover. And it's like, oh, you see the cover and you instantly know in your head Abbey Road. It beams into your fucking brain skull. And you fucking and you're like, oh my god, the Beatles is the best band ever. Like in an alternate reality, people see this cover and like, holy shit, it's Saint Anger! Oh my god, Metallica is the best metal band.
It gives him energy. I told you.
I still don't think Saint Anger matches the album cover. What it needs to be is frantic.
No, he's clenching his fist. He's angry.
No, but listen, what it needs to be... See, Saint Anger is cool for, like, the hand, but, like, if you see Mother Teresa's hand, you're not gonna be like, oh, that's Mother Teresa. Like, what? Like, no. Alright? Listen, what it needs to be is frantic, because, like, the outside of like the album cover, like the orange just radiates energy. All right, just divine power. Okay, but it needs to be frantic with an exclamation point. And then it's done.
No!
It's done. That's what it needs to be.
It's fucking over.
It needs the punctuation. And then that's the final form of this album cover.
No, wait. No, it's Saint exclamation point anger.
Saint at the anger.
You get the exclamation point instead of the period.
Isn't it pronounced Stanger?
Oh.
I think it'd be funny if they had Stanger, but they still capitalized the A. They literally just removed the space in the period of Stanger. Exclamation point.
It'd fit the southern country vibe.
I thought this was rock. But if you literally just flip the album, like just rotate it 180 degrees, it's like a fucking like workers rise up symbol now.
Yeah, it looks like a communist symbol. I don't know why you guys like it. I don't want to try communism at least once.
It's a communism symbol if it's up. When it's down, it's like punching the communists.
But
and then to stop them, they have to
it's just some angry Joker that's like having his hand
rope around his hand so he doesn't punch the communists.
I really don't like the album cover. I don't.
I think the album cover is way too funny. I actually don't like it that much.
It's awful.
I just associate it with comedy. Like, I don't know.
It's a really good album cover.
Makes me feel uncomfortable.
The guy who made the covers, I think the same guy who made the Dr. Octagonacologist album cover, if you'd believe.
I wouldn't be surprised. Is that like a Panucci's Pizza guy was the Trump campaign manager?
No, I'm pretty sure it's actually.
Dr. Octagonacologist album cover really doesn't tell you what you're going to be listening to either, but you kind of get into it.
I don't know, that one seems pretty evident. But this one,
you sure? Could you even guess that that's rap? Are you sure?
It literally looks like a death metal.
He's got the thing on his head. You know, you're listening to the doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't know you're listening to rap. It looks like a death metal cover.
There's no way you could guess that's rap.
That does not look like a death metal cover.
It's a skeleton.
It looks like a rap cover?
It's a skeleton dressed as a doctor. If I see a skeleton on an album cover,
it looks like some offshoot Megadeth shit. 100%.
If we're really gonna pretend there's more of a difference between offshoot Megadeth and a death metal album than between
there's all these new death metal shit. It's just like the stupid ass fucking letters, and then some we go to record store day, and it's just okay, this one is offshoot pentagram number fucking 15 with the letters you can't read, and Matt's like, yeah, some shitty death metal. It's like, oh, here's some more shitty death metal with another goat with that's goat number 45.
Like $70 for some reason. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Did you see this shit post that's just like letters you can't read? It's just letters you can't read for letters you can't read. Got it. I gotta find it now. I gotta put it in the Discord.
Well, so
dude, if you don't like solos, you're a cuck, dude. I'm 100% certain. Why is there no solos?
I mean, I don't dislike solos, but like if there's no solos, I don't start crying. But I don't like this band anyway, so
I don't mind like
I've never nutted not having solos.
But I think if you're gonna have no solos, you should have shorter songs. Shorter, more concise songs. Because like solos allow you to have like just add a bunch of fucking meat to your song. And it's like if you're gonna have the songs be the song, you need.
I put the picture in there.
This fucking got you. Who did that? Did you do that?
No, I just saw that online.
So that's fucking good. That's way too good.
It's one of those things I can't explain that verbally. Like I tried to.
I understood letters. I thought you were saying straight gibberish.
I understood what you were saying. It is so much better in picture form.
A picture says 1,000 words you can't read.
I remember the top comment was like, it was like Juice WRLD is just Travis Scott for people who like Panic at the Disco, or something. It was something fucking stupid. That was like the guy's.
That sounds pretty. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That sounds accurate.
That was the guy's interpretation, or it was whatever the fuck it was. Album's a 5.
So, you think it's a 5, Cruz? What do you think it is?
God, I don't know. It's a what was it? It's a Indigo Prophecy out of 10.
Yeah, okay, Cameron, what's your
Alright,
score?
listen, I never talked about the album, alright? So
yeah, we got more.
Alright, so like I'm first gonna start with this album's temporal illusion effect, alright?
Okay.
So like,
can you elaborate?
That sounds like a prog metal band.
I told you I'm gonna talk about it.
Temporal Illusion Effect is a prog metal band, by the way. I'm almost convinced.
Alright, I'll write that one down.
That's the next Dream Theater album title, actually.
I thought it was the new Animals as Leader fucking album cover or album title. Shit.
It's like Liquid Tension Experiment.
So like, you're listening to the album, right?
As one does.
Trash can. Alright. Listen, 1/8 of like a bar goes by. Trash can. Alright. Next eighth of the bar, trash can.
It literally opens up with and it's just a trash can sound.
He dies on instant on arrival.
Next eighth goes by trash can. Listen, the song lengths do not matter. Because time quickens. Because Lars Ulrich knew what he was doing. Time doesn't exist anymore. Because all you're hearing is the trash can. It's just the trash can. Like 75 minutes? Like, no. Trash can minutes, alright? This is the shortest long album I've ever heard. Honestly.
Trash can minutes, yo.
Like, Long Drive is the same length. Long Drive is double the length of this album. I'm serious. This is not a joke. Like this album goes by so fucking fast. None of these songs feel as long as they are. Like, only if you have enough time to actually like listening to the song at the beginning, and then you zone out, and then you come back to it, you'll realize how long it is. But that's not what happens. It's just trash can. And fucking trash can. You're shaving to the beat of the trash can. It's stupid. It's so fucking funny. Like, he knew what he was doing, 100%. I want to believe that he just straight up just brought in a trash can on the snare, like he just hooked it up. But the lyrics are hilarious. So like, I'm gonna keep it a billion. All right, I like this album. All right,
oh, there it is.
A fellow man of taste. I
see you're a man of culture as well.
I'm a man of the fucking culture. Listen. So like, I don't listen to a lot of metal, right? Like, I used to when I was edgy in high school, right? But then I chilled out. I found Modest Mouse. I got woke, all right? And then I never really looked back too much. So, I mean, I've made minimal efforts to listen to old Metallica. It all ended in quick failure. I didn't like any of it, all right? Like, that shit sounded boring. Like, I don't know. This is preem, all right? Like, this is the cream of the crop metal. If this is bad metal, I don't care. All metal is bad metal. All metal is bad metal if this is bad metal. I'm convinced. Like, people always mean like, oh, metal music sucks, you know? I'm woke, alright? All metal is bad. All metal is trash. All of it. It's the worst genre ever made. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse is rap, country, metal, and K-pop, alright? Those are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I want you to understand. All of those genres suck. But, like, holy fuck is it stupid. This album's hilarious. The best songs are Frantic, Saint Anger, and Shoot Me Again. Shoot Me Again is fucking huge.
When you read the first 2 titles in a row, I thought you were just going to read the whole track list. I was like, oh my god.
You would have done it. Fucking go. You would have done it for the culture.
That would have been fucking funny. Say Anger is a fucking banger, and y'all are hating. The riffs are sick, man. I don't know. Just Invisible Kid has 17 riffs on it. Like, I don't know if you understand like what that means. Fuck it solo. It has 17 riffs. Alright. The guitarist of System of a Down once said that the hardest part of song making form is to figure out what to take out. That was not a problem. For James and the gang. When they made this album. They kept it all in. They didn't give a fuck. They just threw it all in there.
He's breaking down.
Listen. The album starts with the snare. And it ends with Hatfield chanting kill. That is the last thing you hear. Kill, 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 kill. Like, and then it's just over. Like, I don't know. His singing is, if anyone else sang this, it would be bad. It would be unbearable. If Dave Mustaine was the vocalist for the, it would be over. It would be over. Because, like, his voice is funny. And, like, if you just combined it with the snare, like, everything would fall apart. Like, the high pitch, like, it just all falls apart. But, like, this man's, like, weird, like Southern-esque, like, accent talking. Like, he's, like, raising his voice in the library. Like, that's how he sounds. Like, it's just so, like, it just works. Like, so I listened to this, like, a lot in the first week, and I haven't, in the first, like, half of the week, I haven't, like, really listened to it since. But every, like, other, like, piece of, like, rock I've listened to since, I try to imagine what it would sound like with the Lars Ulrich snare. I sit there, and I sit there, and I just think, like, how troll would this sound with the goddamn snare? Like, it would just be bad. It wouldn't be funny, it would just be bad. Like, but in this album, it works. If this album didn't have that snare, it wouldn't be as good. Listen, it might not be good at all. Because the album might feel like it was 75 minutes. But when you just hear the trash can, like, it just...
It all comes in clarity.
Like, it's just whenever you get bored, it just, you listen, you hear it again, and you get, like, the dopamine rush again. and you're just like the hamster on the wheel on, like, the cocaine or whatever. Like, you just keep going in the album, and so I'm like, shit, what the fuck did I just listen to? Alright. This is an 8 out of 10.
Damn! Put it on. Put it on.
The Weird Control. It's almost a 9. Damn. It's like almost a 9. This shit is too funny.
See, here's the deal.
I feel like if this were like a random thing that I came across, it would be a 9. But since I'm too aware of the meme behind it, it becomes less good. Because I feel like I have to mitigate my love for it.
So there's a travesty to this, right? It's because Metallica did it, no one will ever do something like this ever again, right?
Exactly.
Like, because the infinity
no one is
of
ever going to
Anger,
do that snare again.
You are never going to get something like this ever again.
That's the thing. This album is precious. This is the album. If an alien does not listen to music, like, if an alien doesn't know what music is, but they have ears, this album. Alright, this album and the Body album. That's all you need to hear. And like, just put on some Taylor Swift or something.
These are the albums to save humanity. These are the ones you present to the alien race to save humanity. This is why.
It is a travesty that this is not in the Library of Congress.
Is it not?
It is. It's Cruz. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Don't they archive everything? Is that the point?
No. They only like.
They archive shit that matters.
Yeah, they archive shit that matters. Like, one of Jay-Z's album got put in recently. But yeah, the point is it's supposed to be like also like books and shit and like movies. Do they do movies? I don't know.
They do movies. I think it's different.
They do everything that's important, or I guess everything.
Yeah, no, it has to be like really important. Like, yeah, like it's not just like it's it's not just important in terms of music. It's important in terms of like
culture.
They deem like
it's
culture.
aesthetically, culturally, or socially relevant. Is like the criteria.
Yeah, and it has to be like
all the toppings is not in the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nor is this. Nor will it ever be. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless maybe if Yang is president, he'll throw this in there. I don't know.
Somebody will use Saint Anger as their fucking campaign song about being fed up at the current social climate or something, and he'll get elected.
We've
and it'll just
never
going.
actually tried real communism.
Not a single time, man.
Ain't it a damn shame?
Ain't it a damn shame, man? Like, what's up with that, man? Like, airplane food, dog.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. This album's killer. Like, this shit is way too good. My taste in metal is shit, but so is metal, so it's all good.
See, I like honestly, if all the songs on the album were as solid as Frantic is in terms of like having what is good about this album, I would agree that it's like an 8 out of 10, honestly. But like I think some like a lot of the tracks on the later half of the album just aren't as good to me. So like that's why I personally we keep it like a 6 out of 10 maybe.
The snare stays. The snare is the constant.
The snare is.
It's like in the Body album, the screaming was the constant.
It was.
Here it's the snare, and it just ties all the bullshit together.
All right.
I don't. It's.
My predictions were that everyone would give it a 4.
Nobody even gave it a 4. Well, we got a 5, a 6, and an 8 or some shit.
Well, Cruz gave it an Indigo Prophecy out of 10.
Yeah, that's a solid 6.
I think that's like a 5.
Indigo Prophecy. What a fucking game.
Well,
oh man.
Saint Anger, final boss in music.
Alright, now for the epilogue.
Truly, yeah, for the secret
Uber
boss.
The secret boss. Yeah. This is like when you 100% the game.
Yeah.
This is what you get. You get to fight Contact by Pharmakon.
That's how Pharmakon sounds like an Uber boss name.
It's a 2017 album by a woman who goes by the name Pharmakon. Her real name is Margaret Chardier or some shit. Name.
That's a long ass name.
It's just
everybody's a fucking critic.
Everyone's a fucking critic. Yeah, Margaret Chardier. She's from New York. But yeah, she trolls for a living. She makes this, and I don't know. That's what she. I found out today that she's also in like just an indie rock band. They put out one album, but like I don't know. She's just in. Apparently, they just make like normal indie rock, from what I can tell. It's like just garage rock. Apparently, I don't know, but yeah. So I'm gonna need to listen to that because it seems like it'll be some bullshit. But yeah, this is a musical experience. I have no clue how I found it. How did I? I have no clue. It was a fluke.
You find it by the Lars Ulrich trash can?
I did not find it by. I went dumpster diving in the Lars Ulrich trash can, and I found this. Definitely. I probably saw the album cover and was like, "What the fuck is this?" I don't know, but I've never listened to this album full before because like I couldn't stomach it. I put on Nakedness in Need. I think I got 4 minutes in once. That was my record. You know, it's like I went 3 weeks not jacking off once. That was my record. It's like the same shit. Alright? So I've been wanting to pick this for a minute because I don't know. I want to see what Alex was saying. but like, I don't know. I had to like ease him into. I had to hit him with like the body first, and I don't know.
And shoo.
Yeah, and shoo first. I'll pick some other troll shit. I don't know.
I'm glad that those are considered easy listening music.
They are easy listening. 100% easy listening compared to this, like relatively.
Yeah, I would say this is hard listening.
Yeah, this is hard mode listening. So I finally listened to the album today. I only listened to it once. I was really putting it off. I did not want to do it. I started to I think like on like Wednesday or some shit. I got through the whole song and I was just like, man, I just want to put on Eternal Bangers. Like I'm not in the mood for this. But so after listening to it, the eighth gate has been broken. I'm like Rock Lee when he fights Gaara. I'm just busting through them all now.
Let's go.
Like over the course of a month, I've just gotten so woke.
You know Rock Lee loses still, right?
Yeah.
He Omega loses.
And I also lost to this album. Like, I got through it. Like, Rock Lee got through the fight. He cemented himself as the best character in the entire show. Essentially by process of elimination. But that's okay. So yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I still don't like the album. It's just, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I try to listen to it on headphones, it still wouldn't work. Like, I'm pretty sure I would still turn it off, but on speakers, you can just kind of pretend like you're not listening to it. I was actually reading a book while listening to it, and that worked kind of well, because it's not like she's really singing. It's basically instrumental. She's not, like, singing words or anything. Supposedly, when you go see her live, she's not on stage. She's just on the floor. And she just, like, has, like, her little, like, I don't know, her, like, little synths and shit just, like, right on the floor. And she's just, like, on the floor writhing and screaming. And everyone's literally just, like, in a circle around her. Like, everyone's crowding around her.
When I was reading the shit about it, from what I understand, she literally just puts the album on and then fights the audience.
Yeah, I don't know, she does some crazy shit.
That's just, like, what she does. Like, she doesn't
I didn't
actually
hear that
perform.
one yet, but...
Because I was reading on the Wikipedia page that it's like the way that she's
I'm glad this was stop provoking enough for you to do investigation.
She's of the opinion that, like, the way that the music is made is the way that the music is intended to be listened to, and you know, you might not be able to replicate the experience you have listening to this album on the album live, so you gotta fucking just give them the live album. And then she just gets very confrontational with the audience.
I respect that. This bitch is crazy. Like 100%.
This album falls into that. Okay, well, you're not done yet. When you get done,
I just. This woman is crazy. Like, I don't know. It's just she's fucked in the head, but like, I don't know. It works out in the end. I don't know. This is amusing. I'm glad I was able to get through, because there's other shit that sounds like this that I wasn't able to get through either. I've unlocked the gate.
The door.
I'm Rock Lee with his arm and his leg broke, and I can do it now, you know?
D-Gates.
I fuck with Rock Lee.
I didn't know you had such a fucking adorned, like, such a fucking...
I was watching this video of...
Let's keep going. It
was about how, like, Naruto's a big hypocrite. Because, like...
Isn't that an hour-long video or something?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of the long ones. Like, when I'm bored, I watch all the video essays and shit on YouTube because, I don't know. It's something to do.
Isn't that by Plague of Gripes or something?
It is Plague of Gripes. It is Plague of Gripes. The fucking furry porn drawer.
He makes money, Cameron. It's not about... He's not a furry. He lives on a farm.
I know.
He's chill as fuck and he makes money.
He is just fucking... He's making money off the fucking peons. But I respect it. It's capitalism. Capitalism. And then sometimes when he's bored, he makes rant videos about Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, those are the best videos.
He has like 4 about Dragon Ball Z, and like he just made one about Naruto off the
long. They're all great. Everybody should watch them.
But yeah, so his video about Naruto was like saying that Naruto's a hypocrite because the whole like message is supposed to be like, oh yeah, I got here through hard work and shit. But Naruto is literally royalty. Like, beyond royalty. He's a reincarnation of one of the most important people to ever exist. He has a demon inside him that there's essentially only like 8 other demons like this. Yep. He just has it inside him. Like, it's just a homie chilling. It's just free Deus Ex Machina whenever he's about to lose.
Literally fucking plot armor.
it's the memeiest plot armor ever, and like, just because he got raised as an orphan, which still like makes no sense. Like, I don't understand. Like, this kid literally has a demon inside him, and you, as a village, you're just gonna decide to abuse him. Like, what? You don't think that's gonna backfire? Like, at all?
You store the demon inside this orphan so that your town will be safe, and you bully him.
And yeah, like I don't know.
It's almost as if being as a shonen manga, it wasn't exactly thought.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Anime is important, and we're gonna treat it like it was thought through. All right, because we're thinking it through. It doesn't matter if the author thought it through. I'm thinking it through now. All right. And
why don't you think this is what's happening by Pharmakon?
I don't know why we're talking about Rocket League, but I'm really digging it. I really like talking about anime, like Dragon Ball and Naruto, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. That's my favorite thing.
It's that thing that's always in the room. You know it's there, but you don't want to talk about it. You can't address it, or else it gains power.
It's like the fuck Trump song, dude.
The point is Naruto is loyalty, and he's a Korean. If you're watching the audience, all two of you should go watch the Plague of Gripes video, because that shit is amusing. But anyways, yeah, I don't know, it's just like noise and shit, but I don't know what
The climax! Oh my god!
Like, at least in the body we can meme about the screaming, but there's none of that here. Like, I mean, she is screaming, but I mean, it's just her voice. I got spooked out because like there were some drums in there, like occasionally. Like the BPM increased slightly. Like I guess music like this, like a lot of times doesn't really have a BPM because it's just like a noise. Like that doesn't really have a BPM, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I'll probably listen to it again eventually. I give it a 4 out of 10. I didn't like it, but I was looking at the other 4 out of 10s. I was like, yeah, this fits. This is writing there was close to the edge.
By the way, that's one prediction dead on. I'm a fucking genius.
Damn. But yeah, like when I think about listening close to the edge again, I think about listening to this again. Like I get the same feeling. Actually, it's like, yeah, I mean, I could, but like, why would I? You know, like, why would I do that to myself? Like, I mean, it would be I'd survive, but like, shit, like, why? Same thing with the Joy Division album, you know, some other shit. But yeah, I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts.
Also, I'll let someone else go first. Cruz, how'd you feel?
Alright, same shit, different day. What is this? Dude, so I listened to Say Anger, I think, twice. Because, I don't know, I can't listen to Metallica anymore. It makes you fucking cringe. And so, it's like, I only listened to it once. Because, so, I agree with Cameron that if the human race was going to be destroyed and to convince the alien overlords that are communist because it works, if we were to be saved to send 3 pieces of music, our best music, it would be The Body, Say Anger, and the other one.
Wait.
in Contact by Pharmakon.
And it wouldn't be this because The Body is a lot better because it has a meme, has a theme going for it. But like, this is just so fucking rough. It's really, really unpleasant to listen to. It really is like a grog, like you're like actually slogging through it. Like it's so just not fun. I don't know. I really hated it. I couldn't really stand it at all. I don't like the album cover. The album cover makes me want to vomit whenever I see it. I'm looking at it now.
Have you seen the other cover by?
The other ones are fine. The other ones aren't as bad. It's the grease on the fingers.
The maggot one.
The maggots are fine because it's just some maggots. And like,
oh, dude, they're in her fucking vagina, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, I don't know. That one doesn't really bother me. But like the grease on the like oily grease on the hands and her face, and like that her tongue is sticking out. All like, it just makes it so fucking weird. If everything were dry, like someone came in there and just like wiped everyone down with a towel before this album picture was taken, it would be fine. But it's literally just the grease. It makes it look so fucking weird. I don't mind it,
you know, as much as the fucking maggots do now.
The maggots are fine, and Be So Burden is weird as fuck, but it's
fine.
The other albums are supposed to be better. Like Abandon is supposed to be like good, quote unquote. but like I got introduced to this one somehow. I didn't get introduced to the other ones. So, this is the one y'all heard. I'm sure you'd have the same opinions about the other ones, probably. Like, who knows?
I treated it like a Band-Aid.
What?
You take one end, and you rip it off. You know, you fucking just get through it as fast as you can, right? Time. You know what? Cameron is right. Fucking Frantic did not feel like it was an hour and 15 minutes. This felt like it was an hour and 15 minutes. It's the shortest album of the week, and it's the
I give it like 50.
The longest fucking longest album of the week. I just it's irrevocable. Just bullshit. Ooh. What? It's like I understand like drone and noise music because I've ascended and I know what my communist brethren would find like, as pieces of art, but this is just pieces of trash, and it doesn't belong in a large Ulrich trash can.
You're outing yourself as not a true communist. Yeah, you know why? Because if you were a true communist, you know from your postmodern perspective that there's no music that's inherently better, and that this is just as valid as anything else.
It's our music.
This is some hyper communist shit. You're only like you're a beta communist. I'm a hyper communist.
Okay, yeah, I'm a sleeping communist, and you're a
He said woke.
Alex, what kind of communist
woke
are you?
And broke. Yeah, what kind of communist are you?
If you're a communist, you can not talk to me.
He's an adventure communist.
So I take it you didn't like this hyper communist album then.
So the thing about this album is I believe I've already had this conversation on the show about how people will leave reviews. One of the reviews for this album, the vocals are like if Merzbow's harshest music was transcribed for the human voice, set to pummeling rhythms and at times unrestrained noise, including feedback, crackling, screeching, change rattling electronic filters that make her voice transcend even being a voice and become something that sounds like it just broke out of a prison in a pit of the darkest depths of hell. I feel like my ears and soul were being fucked hard and it was great. I don't understand how people can leave reviews that are like, oh yeah, it sounds disgusting and it's harsh and abrasive and disgusting and it's fucking nasty to listen to. 9 out of 10. Like, I don't understand how you can just have so much shit.
Niggas are fucked in the head.
No, but I just like, because just any kind of like the really brutal like metal that's just noise and people screaming and yelling and shit, and it's like, oh yeah, it's so. I'm like, how the fuck do you just put this shit on and listen to it?
You remember that quote on Mute that I showed you about the Daughters album? That it was a guy saying that if you listen to music like that, you've your life is basically like a degenerate pursuit of pride, and you've rescinded all like appreciation of beauty.
The thing about Daughters, at least, is that
doesn't really apply to that. But it applies to this.
Yeah, the thing about Daughters is that it's actual music. There's like things happening, and like, yeah, it's fucking weird, and it's like, it's off-putting, and I would say it's off-putting almost in the same way that an album like this would be off-putting to a normal person, like a normal, like, just, you know, only listens to fucking pop music listener. Like, I think they're both off-putting in different directions, but in the same capacity. But one of them is actual music still, and the other one is just, I'm going to make some noises and scream really loud, and that's going to be my art. Because the problem is, just so the person who left that review, by the way, I want to point out that he has 16.5 star reviews on Rate Your Music, and of these, it's all rap music.
Oh,
so basically what you're like. essentially what I'm saying is that the people who are really into this genre only listen to music like this or listen to shit like they don't listen.
What did he give ear demo?
It's like all Eminem and Drake and like fucking Lil Pump and shit. It's okay. Well, maybe you can feel that way, but at the same time, if you
all of his fucking half stars is Eminem. It's every Eminem album.
They're all songs, I think.
Oh no! He just does songs. Oh, he's trolling.
But it's
there are 2 of his albums on there. Yeah.
But what I mean to say is like, if you really like shit like this, you really hate shit that people like and shit that gets popular. Because if it's popular, it's bad, and if it's this, then it's art and it's good. It's garbage.
Taste in music is questionable.
There's almost no other way to say it other than it's garbage. If you're gonna make music that's intentionally gonna be abrasive and just straight noise, have a musical element to it, or you're just wasting your fucking time because you're just making shit that you're not actually making anything that's like it's not impressive. Anybody can make noise rock music that's just noise. The problem is that there's a point where your noise music. There's the reason the name of the genre. There's a genre of music called noise, which means that you could describe something as noise music, which means that there needs to be elements of noise and elements of music. If you just have straight noise, then it's just noise.
Technically, Alexander, this is death industrial.
But it's like, it's not as bad as Fabulous Muscles, because Fabulous Muscles was actually music and was still garbage. This is like, I almost can't even rate it because it's not, she's literally just screaming. And then there's like porno noises, which make me uncomfortable too.
The porno grind.
I just don't understand the kind of person who's like, I want like just looks up stuff like, yeah, I want something that's brutal, disgusting, nihilistic, just violent, abrasive, and it's like that's a 9. This is the kind of shit where if I'm like gonna have kids and I'm gonna fucking be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show my music to people that I think are really gonna enjoy it and really want to put this shit on when they're like going on a run. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna show them fucking Pharmakon and they're gonna really fuck with it. The fact that she's from New York makes it even worse too.
You fucking hate New York.
That's just kind of, I mean, it's just kind of the way it is, dude. Like, I mean, not that she can really help it, I guess, because he was probably born there and grew up there. He doesn't want to leave. It's like, there's an underground scene, but like, yeah, that sucks to suck, dude. I'm sorry. Anybody in the Northeast, just know that we're thinking about you. And we hope that you guys can recover soon. Having to live in such a fucking shit part of the country. Especially New York. If you live in like New York, and you're like, oh, New York's the greatest city on the planet Earth, I'm sorry, dude. Get a fucking grip. Pharmakon's garbage. Pharmakon has no talent. If I went to a Pharmakon show and got into an altercation with Pharmakon at the venue, like that's the kind of thing like you read about these really hardcore punk bands from like the 80s and 90s and shit, and it's like, oh yeah, the gimmick was that at a live show they would play like half a song and then they would get in a fight with the audience. It's like, why does that make you like the music? Like there's a point where I'm like, yeah, if any band, like if Dave Grohl went into the audience and just punched out an audience member, I probably wouldn't listen to the Foo Fighters anymore because I'm like, I don't want to listen to music with dudes that punch people out in the audience. So yeah, I'm gonna pay $20 and go stand at a bunch of fucking sweaty virgins listening to this aggressive punk and death industrial music and then get punched out by a girl. It's like, okay, a fucking New Yorker at that.
A lot of the pictures of shows seemed like they were being intended by like straight normal human beings, like almost like she was playing and people just like saw it and were like, what the fuck is this? And they just walked over.
It's the same problem I have with performance art. Like, performance art actually is an art. I keep saying that television is the lowest form of visual media, but I guess if you technically consider performance art a form of visual media, that's the lowest, because it's not actually anything. You're just chilling. Like, you're not actually doing anything, and people are like, that's artistic as fuck, and that's exactly what this is. She's not doing anything. Break it down. Noise and screaming. It's okay. Do you want to hear somebody scream and make a lot of noise? Have a fucking baby. That's really all there is to it. This is a 2. I don't think anybody is shocked that it's a 2. I think Cameron knew deep down. I still think I had a stronger opinion about Fabulous Muscles, obviously, from last week. I think this is actually like,
at this point it's just not music, so you're just like chilling.
Well, like if everything's this is like, I can't say the highest 2 because it's not almost a 3 at all because it's fucking garbage and it's awful. But in terms of like, in the future of me thinking about it and getting angry again, this is like not up there because I'm not even really that angry about it. I'm just more angry at the people, which is kind of how it was with Fabulous Muscles as well, and like the body. because it was like, wow, there's actually people here that are like, yeah, this shit's fucking bananas. And it's like when with this shit, it's like, okay, well, you're just obviously brain damaged, and that's okay. You know, I think my favorite thing about the stance I have on music like this is that my favorite genre of music is folk music, and I don't know if you can really get that much different from this than just having a fucking southern man on the acoustic guitar.
It's actually the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, people would just be like, "Oh, he doesn't even handle abrasive shit." And if I put like Iron and Wine on, these guys would be like, "Oh my god, this fucking happy-go-lucky bullshit, dude. How can you stomach this?" Rah. And then they go fucking work their 9 to 5 at a tattoo parlor or some shit.
The tattoo parlor.
They go work at the fucking public stocking shelves where they feel like a normal guy. Yeah. The show's called "We Listen to Music," but this week we didn't.
I guess I get to be the contrarian this week, because I had like a
before you continue, I want everybody to know something. If Jack actually unironically likes this album, everybody, we need to start a GoFundMe to get Jack to go to a hospital to get his fucking brain.
Start an intervention.
We'll get James Hetfield's.
Okay.
You're a fucking idiot. If you actually like, yeah, this shit's good.
Transcendental experience listening to this earlier, because you know, I was at work, and I was listening to this for the first time. I listened to every other album like multiple times, but I was afraid.
I'm glad we all waited.
Yeah.
To, like, the
You're
very
intimidated by the strong female that is Margaret.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I even completely forgot to mention. My favorite thing about her is that she started doing this. She started getting involved in the experimental New York music scene when she was 17. So what that means is that when she was in high school, she dated a dude who was in the experimental music scene in New York.
Oh wow,
that's pretty
sexist. Yeah.
I mean, find me the evidence. That's just my opinion, dude. I'm using my information and formulating a informed opinion about it.
Thank you.
This might be the first album I leave a review for.
Oh, dude, I want to read this one.
I actually need to go back and check. You know how you can name your fucking tiers?
Yeah.
Of stuff.
How do you do that?
You have to like edit your profile. It's like a profile edit. I have 0.5 at not a real rating, and then 1.0, which is my lowest, is called pathetic. And there was a point where I was gonna call it Cameron, because usually it's all Cameron's music, but then I realized that it's not actually. There's only actually 3 Cameron albums in here, and there's 2 Jack albums, and then a Cruise/Cameron collab. Just letting my tell you.
Oh, true. That's on a 3 for me. Out of 10.
Okay, but
that's just the way it is.
So I was at work. I was very tired. I was actively like dizzy and just like slipping around, and like I almost falling and tripping over everything, and I put this album on for the first time because I was afraid to listen to it. Because of the fact that Cameron specifically picked this, saying, I don't like this.
I don't even
and
like my album.
I know
Cameron's word.
Alex will fucking hate this. So I was like, okay. Normally, you know, you got these two like polar opposites, right? Yeah, Cameron and Alex, the two eternally diametrically opposed forces. So if if they're cooperating to hate something, then it obviously has to be awful. But then I put it on, and it's like, oh, it's all right.
Did you put on the Iron and Wine album by mistake? Just listen to it twice. Okay. This album cover doesn't really indicate what kind of music it's gonna be.
But that's not the transcendental experience. The transcendental experience is I have it at a volume level that I think is, for like the first song, it kind of ramps up a little bit, and I'm just like, okay, this is still a usable volume level. And I'm breading chicken, and it's getting towards the end of the song where all the volume goes to the super high end, and it's fucking ear piercing. And I'm sitting here like, I can't turn down my music because my hands are covered in fucking shit. So I am like, I just have to listen to this super loud volume, and like, my brain is fucking melting, and I'm sitting there like, I love chicken. And then I was like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Like another thing, right? this is another point I forgot to make. It's just like, fuck. When you think about being like, oh, what's your favorite Pharmakon song? Right? or when you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna show my friend Pharmakon. It doesn't matter what fucking song you show them off this album because it's all just abrasive noise, woman screaming. Abrasive noise.
I think it does
porno
matter.
noise.
I think that the
woman screaming.
I think
Porno
that all
noise,
the songs
woman
that
screaming.
aren't the first and last songs are nah. Like the first and last songs are better than the other ones.
That's
That's what other people said.
But they all sound the same. It's all abrasive noise, woman screaming. That's the formula.
Like the woman screaming part isn't even very prominent on any of the songs besides the first and last one, and that's why the first and last ones are the interesting ones because you can hear her actually hear her screaming, and that's like I don't think this album is like actually good, but like I could listen to the first and last songs for like transcendental experiences in the future, because like some of the screams on the last song are just
PCP music for sure.
Some of those screams are fucking raw, and like there's some like wacky pitch shifting going on.
Imagine Weezer's next album is just 5 tracks of Rivers screaming though. Everybody would fucking hate it.
Everyone would hate it, but like,
yeah.
What I care at this point? They made Gratitude already, dude. It doesn't fucking matter.
If you're gonna be a bitch from New York and you're just gonna scream and make noise,
Alex, I don't think you realize the lowest tier of my rating system is dedicated to Gratitude. It's titled "Please Stop."
That's fine, dude. I don't know if "Please Stop" is worse than "Pathetic" or not. I can't tell.
Please Stop is probably worse.
I think "Please Stop" has a hint of optimism.
No, but pathetic is like a common thing, like, oh yeah, you're pathetic, or this album's pathetic, whereas Please Stop is like, that implies like a real emotional investment.
I feel like Please Stop implies that there's a point where you think it could get better, or like there was a point where it was good and it's not anymore. I feel like Pathetic is just irredeemable. Like it's like once pathetic, always pathetic. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion, based on the facts.
So Pharmakon, better than I expected. I quite like the I do think it's lacking in musicality.
That's a hot take.
It's like specifically with like the first song. It's like, most of the instrumental is just like this like layered synth, like extended synth stab, which is like it's cool, but it's all just the same.
Say synth stab one more time.
Synth stab somebody.
Yeah, fucking synth stab you.
Don't come to school tomorrow.
You're cool.
you guys are cool. Don't come to the concert next week.
Pharmakon, more like don't want to put it on up top.
Yeah. But yeah, but like I found like the actual like sounds of those synths was interesting, even though I felt like she could have done more with it. And all the songs in the middle I barely remember it.
So basically what you're saying is that Pharmakon's not applying herself?
Yeah, basically. I honestly, 6 out of 10, you could make an 8 out of 10 Pharmakon. You can do it. I believe in you.
So listen to her other album.
I think even more indicative of the fact that this shit's just for shock value is the album covers. Like, if you really wanted to make this shit about the music, or if you really wanted to fucking throw people for a loop in a way that might get people impressed, make the album cover like you standing in a field of sunflowers, with like the sun beating on you. Don't make it you just getting touched.
Yeah, you gotta make it look like you're Suzanne Sunfor or something.
Yeah, you gotta make
it look like you're actually just gonna do some pleasant singer-songwriting.
Yeah. You gotta make it look like you're taking yourself seriously and not literally just building your career on shock value. Because that's exactly what you're doing with album covers like that. That's the kind of thing where you go, oh, that album cover is fucking disgusting, I wonder what it sounds like. Which is a fucking terrible way to decide to listen to an album, even if you end up
I feel like if you look at the album cover, you know exactly what this is gonna sound like. There's only one way for it to sound.
I mean, like, for all you know, looking at the cover, it could be just, like, a bunch of, like, sounds of, like, slimy things rubbing up against each other.
That would have been better. That would have been at least funny.
Like the sound of people going...
No, that would have not been funny. That would have been a quick 1 out of 10. That would have been the first one. If you're actually just making mouth sounds, but you're not like a hot bitch like ASMR. Like, fine.
Yeah, if you're making mouth sounds and I can't see your tits, then fuck that.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't think that the idea of specifically making music that's supposed to sound disgusting or revolting is necessarily invalid. I can understand not wanting to listen to music that is like that, but I think that
pursuit of pride. You have rescinded all appreciation of beauty.
You have cheated in the game, not only the game, but yourself.
No! No! It's so good. It's so good. It's my favorite.
Oh. But yeah, I think she definitely was going for that. I think she accomplished it to a degree. I think there could be.
She cheated not only in the music industry but herself.
Album sucks. I think I come out and said, I don't know if I was clear enough, but it's fucking bad.
Well, it's safe to say my predictions were pretty dead on.
You know that table at lunch that like somebody spilled orange juice in the last lunch, so you don't want to sit on the seat, but you still sit at the rest of the table, but just not the part of the table that's nasty.
Yeah.
But then like it just gets more nasty because you all kind of like get a little bit closer than you want to get there, and it's like, well, we could have just sat at a different table and like not had to worry about this at all.
Mm-hmm.
So this album gives me feelings like that. I could have really just seen the album cover and been like, yeah, I don't want to listen to that, and then never had to listen to it, but Cameron had to go out and be a fucking hero.
I had to do it.
But I'm glad Cameron
had to for the season finale.
And I'll say one thing to the audience at home. I wanted nothing more than to be able to say this album was a fucking 9 and just shit all over Cameron's expectations, but Cameron knows me more than I know myself when it comes to
no way that would ever happen. You would have liked the body of Shushu or something before this. Like
Shushu's more abrasive than this also.
Yeah.
But
this one's more disturbing, but Shushu just straight up like Windexes his like window in the middle of the song while talking about how troops are evil. So yeah.
Yeah, and talking about dudes nutting on his face.
Yeah. Paint her face like Picasso.
All I'm saying is that if Pharmakon had a Catholic boyfriend in high school, this wouldn't happen. I'm not saying that it's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying this is just it's a product of the upbringing. This isn't what Charles Grandison Finney died for. That's really all I
hope her dad's like really into classic rock or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
she just hears the music her daughter's making. He's just like, huh, interesting.
Yeah. I know. He'll have to figure out where he failed. If my kid makes music like
it's one of Big Mike's coworkers.
Yeah, if my kid makes music like this, she can make whatever music she wants at the orphanage.
Damn.
No flame, but my kid would never do this because my kid will have a above average IQ probably. Yeah, kid won't exist, dude. I probably won't ever have sex.
Goddamn.
Way to fucking.
Speaking of nihilistic worldview. No.
Yeah. I got a nihilistic worldview. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Just bought my bitch Jimmy Choos.
Yeah. Keep the paper together like glue. Yeah.
I'm a ghost. I say boo. Yeah.
I gotta put on my shoe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. My bitch is hot and I'm cool. Yeah.
I put the bitches in a zoo. Yeah.
This was a good into season 2.
Yeah. Shout out season 2. Thanks for all the real fans out there who've been dropping the love and the support. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
Did you know that out of everybody watching, 100% of you aren't subscribed? Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us. That grows our carbon footprint.
Yeah. If you're not contributing to the heat death of the universe as much as possible, you're trolling. Always remember.
And maybe next season with season 3, we'll be able to do some giveaways and stuff if you guys drop some likes and support. We'll have our merch store up soon and everything. It'll be nice.
Deadass.
Our merch store will be our signed copies. We'll all sign a copy of Ratitude and a signed copy of Panucci's Pizza.
We're
and if possible,
pissing away $200.
Literally pissing away. The sweepstakes can go to us. Alright, thank you for listening.
See ya.
Yeah.